a very special day for Penguins goaltender Brad Thiessen. He turned 26 years old, but every day is a great day when you're in the National Hockey League. And tonight he gets his third NHL start against the Winnipeg Jets. Hello again, everybody, along with Bob Airy, who's downstairs. I'm Paul Steigerwald. And Bobby, you can tell that loss of the Flyers was still stuck in Dan Bilesma's craw today. He'd love to see his team bounce back here tonight against the Jets.
Well, he had a good friend call him and remind him, hey, Dan, you picked up 23 of the last 24 points. You're doing all right, but you still are 3 points behind those New York Rangers for that top seed in the Eastern Conference. And if you look down on the 10th seed, you see the Winnipeg Jets. They're 4 points out of a playoff position. The Caps, a big win in Detroit last night.
Well, Sidney Crosby has 5 assists in the 3 games since his return, all on the road, of course. His first appearance in his second comeback on home ice here tonight.
Yes, and after layoffs, when Crosby's been injured, he scored in that first game every time, those 3 times coming back. Crosby is putting up the numbers right now with 17 points in 11 games this season. He was foiled against the Devils, Martin Brodeur. The same thing in New York. He is getting chances, and in Philadelphia, his best chance came in overtime, where he just missed the net against Ilya Bryzgalov.
These two teams combined for 13 goals. The Penguins won 8-5 back on February 11th, Bob. It was run-and-gun hockey. Their coach, Claude Noel, hated it, but it really can happen when you've got 2 offensive defensemen like are on the ice here tonight.
Well, it certainly can. When you're talking about Chris Letang, he's a third-rounder in 2005. A big points guy, but loves to play defense and will be a shutdown guy against Ladd and company tonight. Dustin Byfuglien, what is he, 230, 40, 50 pounds? Well, he's almost got 50 points. You got to be careful. Head on a swivel when Big Buff is on the ice.
Pascal Dupuis scored 20 goals in his second full season in the NHL. He had to wait till his 11th season in the league to do it again. Yes, he's a 20-goal scorer again, and he'll talk to Dan Potash in just a moment. Here's a chance we're talking about. Pascal Dupuis, short-handed, into the backstrom, backhand shot, score!
After getting 5 of 6 points on the road, the Penguins return to home ice, where they'll face the Jets here on Root Sports. And Pascal, after speaking to some of your teammates in the room this morning, I kind of get the feeling that that loss to Philadelphia has left a sour taste in your mouth. How does that help motivate you tonight against Winnipeg?
I don't think we need much help. I think the Jets are a team that are battling for a playoff spot. They're a team that likes to skate, and they're worthy opponents. So I think we're going to be in this one at 100%.
And after combining for 13 goals in your last matchup against them, can we expect more offense from you guys tonight?
Yeah, maybe. But like I said, they're a good hockey club. They're a desperate hockey club to use that old cliche. And we definitely need the point finish on top. So it should be a good matchup.
Pascal, thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, thank you, Dan. Let's take a look at Dan Bilesma's Toyota lineup for this game tonight against the Jets.
Well, up top, you got Evgeny Malkin, leading the National Hockey League in scoring with James Neal on the right, Chris Kunitz on the left. No changes up top there for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Second unit, Jordan Staal. Well, his 10-game point streak came to an end with Pascal Dupuis, 20 goals for Dupuis, and Sullivan on the left. The third line for Pittsburgh, if you want to call it that, with Sidney Crosby in the middle, call it whatever you want. Matt Cook's got a career high in goals, and Tyler Kenny, he's just looking for one. The fourth line's going to be a little bit different with Richard Park inserted into the lineup here tonight. Aaron Asham, Fortaz LePrairie, very close to Winnipeg, and Craig Adams on that right side. Adams is putting up offensive numbers. On defense, Martin and Chris Letang. See who they get the assignment today. Brooks Orpik and Zbynek McCall at the second pairing, and Matty Niskanen alongside Derek Englund.
Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin have combined for an incredible 12 goals and 29 points in 16 man games against Jets goaltender Andre Pavlik. Sid has gone 10 without a goal. Pavlik could be just the right heading in. Shoots a score. Here. Malkin has Kunitz with a puck. It's a tie. Evgeny Malkin sneaks in between the pads of Omaha for his second of the game. Malkin fires. Rebound shot. Evgeny Malkin has the hat trick. And tonight's number 1 star, Evgeny Malkin.
center, not for the Penguins in the playoffs. This will be the first time these two teams have met in Pittsburgh since the 7 o'clock face-off set for tonight. Good evening, welcome to Penguins pregame. I'm Mar.20.
Penguins hockey on Root Sports is brought to you by the new 2012 Toyota Camry. It's ready. Are you? By McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by your Western PA Chevy dealers.
Playoff weather in Pittsburgh, to say the least. Beautiful sunny day and a great day for hockey. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the Winnipeg Jets tonight here at Consol Energy Center. And time to look at our Kia starting goaltender for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
There he is, Brad Thiessen. He gets his third start of the season for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And he's 2-0 so far this season, Steggy. Our Kia starting goaltender, Brad Thiessen.
Penguins have an interesting line to start the game. Sidney Crosby centering with Jordan Staal on the left and Aaron Asham on the right. Against Slater, Glass, and Mahachek for the Winnipeg Jets. With Hainsey and Bogosian on defense, the Penguins have Derek Engelland and Matt Niskanen on defense. And Asham moves it on the right wing. So Sidney Crosby starts the game, his first home game in a long time. December 5th is the last time, and now we get a whistle here and an offside call and a chance to look at our Hyundai starting goaltender.
There is Andre Pavlik. Talked to Joe Melas, the Penguins goaltender coach. He said he's a great first save goaltender, very strong positionally. A lot of pucks will sit down by his feet. Of course, they're going to want to impede his vision, his lifetime numbers. Not very good against the Penguins.
Penguins have made a change in their lineup. We were told Richard Park would be in, but Eric Tangradi is in, not Richard Park. So Tangradi continues in the lineup for the Penguins, was in the lineup the last couple of games on the road trip. Now Brian Little with a puck, moves it right wing, and Wheeler with a shot, and a good save by Thiessen. He stood up and made it look easy on Blake Wheeler, who's a dangerous big power forward for the Winnipeg Jets.
Got the cup of the glove on that one. That was a spectacular save.
Wheeler with 17 goals. Here's a chance for the Penguins. Kunitz with a drive. And Pavlik made the save with the right pad. Now it's James Neal behind the net to Kunitz. Slaps it to the net. Save made. And the Jets get control. Now Claude Noel said he wants his team to compete. And good net front presence. Be strong on pucks. All those things that coaches say when they're talking about their team playing good, solid hockey. And what's interesting about the Jets is they've been a great team at home and a terrible team on the road, and we'll show you some of the numbers later. Look at this save.
Yeah, Wheeler with that good opportunity. Beautiful save there by Thiessen, unable to keep it in the trapper, but it's a nice save standing up for the young netminder in his third start.
Bobby, he's only 6 feet tall, and I would say that he probably needs to be upright quite a bit, don't you think?
Well, he has to be. He has to make himself look big, because when you look at him visually, he's not really imposing for a shooter. You do see a lot of twine behind him. You got to get out there and cut down the angles.
Vermeestra for Evander Kane. Kane, their leading goal scorer with 28. What a year he's had. Now Pascal Dupuis with it for the Penguins, the former Thrasher. Of course, that was the franchise this was before they're the Winnipeg Jets. Pascal Dupuis coming from the Thrashers to the Penguins in that big Marian Hossa deal, and what an acquisition he has been. Now the puck cleared the length of the ice, and Brooks Orpik back to touch up on an icing call, and a chance to show you what Bob Airy thought long and hard about, putting his tips to win together. Brought to you by Rivers Casino.
The Penguins want to profit. They're going to have to be good in the net. So we got net profits. Tyler Kennedy, he has to score. He's playing with 87, Sidney Crosby. Crosby's dishing out assists like candy. Kennedy's got to be on the board, and watch Dustin Byfuglien. He's a big guy. He's got a lot of talent. He's starting to put up numbers.
Kennedy there, and he wanted to walk in front, but it was knocked off his stick. He gets it back. Tyler Kennedy moves it to the right point, and Paul Martin. Martin swings it right back to Kennedy, who dumps it deep for Matt Cook to Crosby. Right back in front. Kennedy, he scores! Right on cue.
Well, thank you, Tyler Kennedy, for making me know what it looks like I know what I'm talking about for a second, Staggy. Anyway, but Sidney Crosby from behind the net receives that pass from Matt Cook. Now, Sidney Crosby is so good down low, and he distributes that puck so quickly right onto the tape of Tyler Kennedy. Tyler Kennedy found the goaltender Pavlik deep in his net. Because why? because the pass came from down low and Pavlik wasn't able to get out there, cut down the angle. Kennedy found that corner. 1-0 Penguins. That's huge.
First in 18 games. I'll tell you, he had some good looks at the net in the Flyers game on Sunday, and he was missing the cage. And that time, he didn't try to one-timer smack the puck to the net like he did in Philly. He took it on the blade, and he wristed it into the net to score the Penguins' first goal. Now Craig Adams takes an outlet pass right in front of his own net. He called for that puck. And ahead now to Asham, who dumps it in behind the Jets' defense. The Winnipeg Jets come in here with a record of 11-19-4 on the road. 8 games under 500. Only one other team in the Eastern Conference says that. That's the Tampa Bay Lightning. But yet they're 23-11-4 on their home ice. That loud building in Winnipeg, where they really do have a distinct home ice advantage.
You know, we talked about Thiessen making himself big. Pavlik made himself look small on that goal because he wasn't out there cutting down the angle. Pavlik's a big, imposing netminder, but he wasn't able to get out there and get on top of his crease and deny that Kennedy shot.
Now Neal dumps the puck to the corner. Kunitz in after it. Well, the Jets had scored the first goal in 5 of the last 6 games here as the Thrashers and Jets. And the Penguins won every one of them. Here's Glass pulling up, trying to get it to the net. He scores! Well, he was looking for Slater, and it went off a Penguin, I think, into the net, and the game is tied at 1.
Well, it may have indeed went off a skate. And it may have indeed went off Jim Slater's skate as he was going to the net, but I didn't see a kicking motion. Now, Thiessen looked around. He's got the mask up, and they'll look at this one. We'll take a look at the pass. Glass across. There's the redirect of the skate. Now, the blade was in there a little bit. We saw Matt Cook score a goal like this the other night. Off that skate, no kicking motion. That was exactly like the Matt Cook goal the other day. Crosby to Matt Cook. This goes off that blade, in behind Thiessen. This counts, folks. It counted. Matt Cook's goal counted. And this one's going to count because there was no distinct kicking motion.
Big goal for Slater. He just went to the net hard and got his 10th.
After reviewing the play, the call on the ice stands goal.
Pass, Glass, Slater. Off that right blade. Don't know if it touched his glove or not on the way by. Nonetheless, there was no distinct kicking motion. That was an easy call. It didn't take long for them to make that decision.
So a huge goal for the Winnipeg Jets, who bounced right back to tie this game after Tyler Kennedy had given the Penguins the lead, and already 2 goals in the game. A centering pass attempt made by Little and a block by McCulloch, who made the slide play, and now a lead indirect pass ahead for Dupuis. Backhand shot, and it went wide of the goal. And Blake Wheeler gets a convenient hop off the boards and goes the other way with it. And they're offside entering the Penguin zone.
Great job by the defense to stand up. Brooks Orpik closing that gap, not allowing that blue line to be attained by Blake Wheeler. And there's Tyler Kennedy, the goal scorer for the Pittsburgh Penguins in this one. Take a look at this gap defensively. You want to stand up. That's a different distance between forward and defense. Look at the stick right on the blue line. Forces Wheeler to go east to west. Great job, Brooks Orpik.
Slater on the ice again out here with Glass. And Mahacek, the newcomer, Spencer Mahacek, playing for the Jets on the right wing, wearing number 46. Tyler Kennedy works it up to the middle. Sidney Crosby trying to glove it down. And Mark Stewart able to get it out. Slater with speed. He's a very fast player. Works it right away. Mahacek, this shot might have clipped the stick of the goaltender Thiessen. Stewart with it again, wristing it wide of the goal and off the glass. Matt Cook, who got a second assist on Tyler Kennedy's goal, sends it back around to the near side. Cook now has 32 points. That's his 16th assist of the season. And Mahacek will backhand the puck into the Penguin zone.
And that's the goal along with the 16 assists and only 30 penalty minutes. So great job this season by Matt Cook.
Neal ahead, off the stick of Malkin. Gino in after the puck behind the net. Swiping at it, so was Hainsey, who cleared it to the near wall, but Kunitz able to work it to the right point on Letang. Wristing it towards the net. Floating in. Pavlik mishandled it. Malkin trying to get a hold of it, but now Vermistrov behind his own net moves it out. Ahead to Evander Kane. And Evander Kane, surrounded by black jerseys, busts through there to the puck. Throws into the net. And it's on the body and down to the ice. Taken by Vermistrov. A slick little play by Evander Kane. creating a little havoc by just lifting the puck to the net. Kyle Wellwood was the man going to the goal. Now Malkin in after it again. Centered it again, a bouncing puck. That puck is popping up all over the place.
And went on Hayden's shoulder, who was on his knees in front of the net.
Kane again with speed and power to the goal. Thiessen makes a save and the puck goes in behind the net. Brad Thiessen wasn't sure where it was. He's got it now as Burmistrov carries it up the near wall. And reverses it behind the net to Wellwood. The Kane is shot and a save by Thiessen on the post.
Barely on the blocker. He was tight to his goal line as well, and he stopped Kane. Kane with the power move, then that second opportunity. That one stopped by the blocker, Thiessen. Kane's a deadly player.
Yes, he is. Taking 4th overall in 09, having a whale of a season. As I said earlier, 28 goals and 51 points. Take a look at Evander Kane here.
And he's got deceptive speed. Look at him protect that puck with the right leg. Get in on Thiessen.
Or let's go down to Bob Airy between the benches.
No, Steg, I think the Penguins exactly got what they wanted, that great start. You want to put a team that's terrible on their heels early in a hockey game. That's the Winnipeg Jets. They're horrendous, I should say, on the road. And they got down early, but then they got a fortuitous bounce, didn't they? Off a skate of Slater. Maybe they think they have some good fortune ahead of them. They have a tough road. 7 of the last 10 are on the road for the Jets. Who you can't explain it. They have to come to compete, like their coach Noel said, because they are struggling. They have to come to compete on the road.
They have no choice. Here's Bufflin. Guns it to the goal. Right there off a stick and to the equipment of Brad Thiessen. Well, Dan Bilesma's club ended an 11-game win streak. Did get a point in that game in Philadelphia, but let's not forget, Bob, they've won 7 straight here at home.
Well, they've been fantastic. You know, just one final impression here as you look at Claude Noel, the bench coach here for the Winnipeg Jets, and he got his team. It was kind of tough love, wasn't it, Noel, with the Jets early in the season. He got them to turn around. They have good leadership in Andrew Ladd. This puck bounces off Enstrom into the bench, so that means the faceoff will come outside. But Thiessen made some really good saves early in this hockey game. A glove save on Wheeler, a blocker save on Evander Kane. 2 of the sharpshooters really of this hockey team. So he's been solid. The only one he didn't stop was off a skate. You can't blame that one on him.
Well, the Penguins and the Jets played in that 8-5 game. It was a wide open game where the Jets were very irresponsible. Bufflin was up ice. He was a -3. And Claude Noel was not happy. And basically the whole team had to do some soul searching about playing for one another, being more responsible to each other in games. And right after that, they went home and lost to the Islanders, but then really went on a pretty good run. And that's why they're still in the playoff hunt. So that loss to the Penguins was a bit of a turning point for them. Blake Wheeler centers the puck. The Penguins break it up. And Noel said today, I don't care if we're at home or on the road or we're on Mars. There's a certain way we've got to play. I didn't ask him what their record is on Mars, but I know that it's very good at home and not good on the road. Here's McCulloch with it at his own line.
Well, the Penguins are 8-0-1 against the Southeast this year. Playing in this one here tonight.
Niskanen. Engelin with a wrister to the stick of Tangradi, who tried to keep control. Adams helps him out, dumps it to the corner. Back up the wall it comes, and the Jets can't clear it. Derek Engelin will hold it in again. Hainsey tried to get it out. Now it's dumped into the Penguin zone. Back to get it is Matt Niskanen. Craig Adams with it. To Aaron Asham. Adams and Asham, along with Tangradi. Asham to Niskanen, a wrister. Boy, they just packed it in front of their net that time to block that shot. And trying to get quick transition, but they turn the puck over, and the Penguins go D to D. Engelin to Niskanen. Out to Malkin. Shortens up on the stick to take that pass. Malkin looks back, now into the slot, and the Jets read that play and broke it up. Tanner Glass worked it ahead to Grant Blitzum, who dumps it up into the Penguin zone. And Thiessen quickly out of the net, moves it near side. Penguins counter. Malkin dumps it rink wide, but it's going to be an offside call on the Penguins as they enter the Jets zone. Time to take a look at our AGH scratches for this game and Dan Bilesma.
I thought Richard Park might get the nod here tonight. No, Joe Vitale's missed the last 2. Jeffrey Lovejoy and Brent Johnson for Pittsburgh. The teams have turned the puck over, and I would consider an offside, somewhat of a turnover here at the blue lines. Both teams has led to an up and down hockey game, but not the sort of game these coaches want. They want the puck in behind defensemen so they can get some offensive zone time like that.
Kane dumps it in. Thiessen again has to play the puck and does it smartly. As it's sent up the wall by Chris Letang and bounces out to center. Malkin looks for it. Now Hainsey tried to get it going north. Malkin clogs it up, just dumps it rink wide right to James Neal, who tried a saucer pass for Kunitz. Hainsey strong on him, but now Neal with a shot down low, and Pavlik with the left pad save. Quick counter for the Jets. Kane again, and he shoots it to the glove of Brad Thiessen, who hangs onto it. Look at our barrel leaders. And it's the Pittsburgh Penguins leading the way with the longest winning streak this season.
Yeah, they have an 8-gamer as well, sandwiched in between the Boston Bruins. You got a face-off here right now, and you got a 58% guy on the face-off dot. 58.3. Ladd not taking this face-off. Strangely enough, Little's going to take it. Surprises me. Not, but Little goes right over to Ladd. They thought they could go right to Ladd, right to the point, instead of trying to win it clean off the center face-off. Another tactic in winning face-off.
Kennedy to Cook. Crosby busts to the net. And that center drive trying to create some space for the pass from Cook to Kennedy, but a penalty coming up here, a high sticking call.
Yeah, this one's going to go against Byfuglien. He knew right away as he shook his glove in disgust. Sidney Crosby driving to the net, trying to push back Byfuglien, and Byfuglien just gave him a little shove up high. Sidney Crosby protecting himself up top there. I'm not sure if Byfuglien made contact or not, but the stick was rather high, right under the chin of Sidney Crosby.
Our UPMC Sports Medicine power play. And the prescription, a power play goal, and maybe one for Sidney Crosby. He's done a career high 10 without. We'll talk to him about goals today. Give a chance to tell you what he had to say. Here's Malkin, far side, Letang. Malkin a shot, and he just missed the goal. Sid takes it near side. Cross ice, one-timer, and Letang missed the target. But it stays with the Penguins. Malkin with it. That's two pretty good looks at Pavlik there. Malkin's blast blocked. Penguins keep the puck though. Malkin to Crosby. Sid again. Letang. Malkin, look at that reception to the pass on the backhand. So skilled. Neal and Malkin play catch. Crosby uses the glove to control it. Now to Malkin. Cross to Letang. Pulls it. Sid with a one-timer. That's blocked by Slater, and the Jets able to clear as Tanner Glass dispatches it the length of the ice.
And the first one was blocked by Stewart. He's a real problem. 113 blocks now, 114 on the season on the backside. Whoa, Penguins almost split that gap.
Kunitz could not get behind the D, and then an offside play against the Jets, fortunately for the Pens, and they'll drop the puck. Looks like back in the Winnipeg zone to the left of Pavlik.
Oh yes, Penguins trying to go right up the middle of the ice. Kunitz in behind the defenders, and that puck almost gets through, and then Miettinen got behind the Penguins power play, and he was just offside. Andy Miettinen, the ex-Dallas Star, he went 31 games without a goal. He scored the last two Jets goals.
When I talked to Steve Sullivan the other day, he talked about how effective Kunitz is at making himself an early target on the breakouts on the power play. That's kind of the first guy he checks. And that's what it looked like Sid was doing there as he was trying to split the D with Kunitz. Now Malkin across to Letang. Back to Gino. To Letang. Kunitz is in front of the net. And Kunitz takes the pass in front of the goal. It goes right back to Letang. 37 seconds on the penalty. Miettinen and Burmistrov killing the penalty for the Jets, along with Klitzum and Bogosian, and out to the point, held in by Malkin to Crosby. Sid moving around on this power play now, out to the center point. One-timer Malkin, that's off the stick of Klitzum right behind the net. Kunitz try to work it back to Malkin. Klitzum breaks it up, and he lifts it the length of the ice.
Not a bad waiver pickup, Klitzum. They lost Oduya, and they pick up Klitzum on the deadline.
Thiessen hurried the play to Crosby, who found Malkin. And it's held in now, but an injured player in the corner. It's Mark Stewart.
And he's holding his face, and the referee's hand is up. And we'll see if it's a high stick and whether it's 2 or 4. The man I'm talking about, the alternate captain, the shot blocker from the backside for the Winnipeg Jets. I didn't see any blood there.
Another high sticking penalty.
Yeah, Malkin was coming in and he got the stick right underneath. The stick just riding up on Stewart. Went off Stewart's stick and then right into his face. And the faceoff comes all the way down to the Penguin zone with 4 seconds left on the Bufflin penalty. I imagine he'll come right out onto the ice and into the play as opposed to changing.
It's a 4-minute penalty to Evgeny Malkin, and completely inadvertent, and it was just one of those fluky kind of penalties. Here's Stahl, shoots it off the goalpost, and the horn sounds. It was not in.
I don't know why that would happen. But that's going to be nice here. Hopefully the referees aren't disturbed by what was going on. That horn going off here. It's all Energy Center. And that puck clearly off the goalpost to the glove hand of Pavlik. And a good wrist shot by Jordan Stahl, shorthanded.
Stahl's personal streak came to an end. He had gone 10 games, assists in 10 straight until not getting a point against the Flyers on Sunday afternoon, and almost scored a big shorthanded goal there for the Pens. Pavlik very happy that that one rang in his ear the way it did, because that would have been a huge goal to start off this Winnipeg power play, which is ranked 30th on the road. They're ranked first at home, 30th on the road. Figure that out.
Look at Bufflin choking down like Tobias Enstrom on that stick.
Wheeler tried to center for Ladd, but Ladd has the puck now. Bufflin has that big gun cocked right now out at the right point. Wheeler takes it on the corner, back to Bufflin. Now to Toby Enstrom. Enstrom brings it in deep. Dishes it to the corner for Wheeler. He goes down. Martin tried to get it out. Enstrom holds it in. Centering pass Ladd to Little. He scores. Ryan Little scores a power play goal for the Jets, and they still have a lot of time to work with. Another 2 minutes as they make it 2-1 with a power play goal. So much for the 30th ranked power play.
Well, look at the pass. Thiessen's got a long way to come across, and he did a pretty darn good job of not only getting across, but cutting down the angle. That puck goes over the sliding defender for the Penguins. There's the attempt on the shot block, but you don't want any pucks to come all the way across through that seam, through the box, if you will. And Little was able to measure up that corner to the blocker side of Thiessen. Thiessen did a good job moving with that puck, getting out there to cut down the angle, but a better shot by Little.
20th year of the year for Little and his 5th power play goal of the season. Yeah, and now they're working on the second power play opportunity here with a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a double minor. Adams leading the forwards in shot blocks, unable to get across there and block that shot, and helping his netminder out. And Gino serving the second of that double minor for high sticking.
Well, you need breaks, don't you, Bob? You want to get in the playoffs, you want to win games like this against clubs that are obviously superior.
Well, already 2 breaks.
Yep.
One going off a skate and then a goal post.
And the high sticking penalty was kind of a break too, because it was a fluky sort of penalty. I mean, basically Stewart hit Malkin's stick into his own face.
And as we always say, and the Penguins do, when good teams, they take advantage of those opportunities. And we'll see if the Jets are a good team or not. 4 points out of the playoffs right now.
They're desperate, and the Penguins want to get back to within a point of the New York Rangers with the game in hand that they're playing tonight. That's some to the right side, and Bogosian. A wrister kicked out by Thiessen. Kane centers, and it's chopped over the goal by Kyle Wellwood. And I got to tell you, they've had some good looks at the net here in the first period already.
Yeah, they better be careful.
Wellwood again, a man wide open. Great save by Thiessen on Kane, Evander Kane. Just a great save. And he's had to make a couple really good ones here, or this game could be 4-1 right now. That was a power play chance with a man wide open on the doorstep. 39 seconds to go on the penalty to Malkin.
Well, the Penguins attempted that slide play to deny that pass across to Kane, but the passer was able to make an easy play on it. I believe it was McCulloch who went down on that slide play, but right to Kane.
Toby Enstrom enters the attacking zone and dump it in behind the net. Wheeler let it go through. Bufflin to Wheeler. He centered. Oh, he had a man cutting down the slot. It was Little again, and he just couldn't pull the trigger. cleanly. And now Dupuis tries to sweep it out. He fanned on it, whirling around, and is held in by Little. Wanders off his stick. Controlled now by Craig Adams, and he's able to clear with Malkin just coming out of the penalty box. Toby Enstrom back to the puck. Here comes Gino. Hot on his trail. Gino just overtakes him, takes the puck away, looks for Kunitz in front. He got hauled down going to the side of the net, and there will be a penalty. Malkin, like a man possessed coming out of the penalty box, draws a penalty to try to get the Penguins that goal back that was scored while he was in the box.
Well, that was men amongst against boys there. Malkin against Enstrom. Enstrom just not a match, but Thiessen a match for Kane on this one. Aaron, you run the starting lineup with Stahl and Crosby. What's that mean to a player?
It doesn't happen too often, so I'll take whenever I get out there with Sid or Stalsy. So just wanted us out there, get a little energy going, and try to get this crowd in a
big party back Manitoba way.
Oh, I'm sure it is. They're all pretty excited about Winnipeg. How close they are to the playoffs, and we're here trying to ruin it. So we just got to get back to our game, get those pucks deep, and play our hockey.
Thanks, Ash.
Thank you.
Ron Hainsey able to clear it. Another UPMC Sports Medicine power play for the Penguins, and Steve Sullivan working the point this time with Malkin, Neal, Crosby, and Kunitz. Letang not on the ice. Here's Malkin firing, save, rebound. Kunitz, he shot it and stayed out somehow.
Blocked by Stewart again.
Now Neal to Sullivan. Neal again, a shot down low and a save by Pavlik. Malkin to the rebound, fires. It was blocked by Slater. Now Crosby with a quick return pass attempt. And it was broken up by the Jets, and it ricochets to center this time.
Slater
Malkin with it down.
Blocks galore, Staggy.
It's Neal with it, shoots it in a save. Rebound Malkin, and another save by Pavlik. And he's got control of the puck and draws a whistle.
I mean, it's incredible right now. It's looking through a big redwood forest, if you will. The Winnipeg Jets are just laying in front of shots. Pavlik was way out of the net, and Stewart was able to block one of those opportunities. Wow, there it is right there, that by number 5. Look at this block. That one's going right in the net. Pavlik was out to lunch, and he couldn't get back in. The Penguins are trying to go east to west in front of the net and catch Pavlik overplaying shots.
Crosby holds it, shoots it, it's blocked, he gets it back. Now Letang is on the ice. Back to the front of the net, a save again, the rebound, and it's pushed to the corner. They get it out. Malkin held it in again to Crosby, and right back to Gino. Crosby fires, and Pavlik read that play. Got over and made the save on Sidney Crosby. Now it's Kunitz with it. Ladd pressures him. Ladd trying to get to the puck, but it comes to Letang at the right point. Cross ice. Neal. Crosby couldn't take the pass cleanly, but still able to poke it back to Letang. Letang to Crosby. He tried one of those unbelievable deflections that he's capable of and almost pulled it off. Here's Letang with it now. Fakes the shot to Sid. Crosby again. Beautiful pass. Malkin cross ice. James Neal. Another notch in his belt. And he ties the game at 2.
After practice in morning skate, after the morning skate, that's all the Penguins do is toss that puck around. And they tossed it around here, and the Winnipeg Jets had nothing left by the end of it. How do you stop that? You can have all the pressure in the world, all the great play in the world, and the great goaltending. If a team passes the puck around with perfection, tape to tape, in that kind of manner, like the Penguins just did, you are not going to stop it, folks. That was something to behold.
Another chance to Stahl try to move it in front, and the Jets broke that up. So the Penguins return the favor with a power play goal of their own. We've had 4 goals already in this first period. We mentioned in the open of the broadcast how many goals they combined for back in February 11th, 13 of them. And we're seeing a little glimpse of that again here in this one. Evander Kane back to the net and a stick save made by Thiessen. Wheeler back to the front of the goal. Orpik sends Sullivan away just out of his reach. Toby Enstrom sends it up the wall. Taken now by Burmistrov to Wheeler. Kane goes to the net. Here he is. He shoots, and he deflected it wide. And then back to the front of the net where Thiessen freezes it against the post with 2:32 to go here in the period. 7 shots for the Penguins on that power play. And James Neal with his 15th power play.
James Neal, he's looking up. He's not watching himself score a goal, but he is tied with Scotty Hartnell now for the National Hockey League lead in power play goals. His 15th power play goal of the season. And you said, Staggy, that the Penguins returned in the favor. You could say, I guess, Malkin returned in the favor. He was in the box.
Right.
Was Evgeny Malkin when the Jets scored their power play goal with that inadvertent high stick. But he gets back on the ice. He draws the penalty. And then he's part of that goal.
Malkin and Crosby getting the assists on the goal by Neal. The Rifleman scoring his 33rd of the season. And Jordan Staal sends the puck to the corner. Staal in on the puck. Bufflin there, though, and Dustin Bufflin able to work it out. Now Ladd shoots it down low. Save made by Thiessen, and the Penguins able to get to the puck and quickly come back to center ice, and Aaron Asham ahead to Adams. Toby Enstrom wheels it back in behind the net for Dustin Bufflin. It's a little. He's run over by Jordan Staal, but he did get the puck to center ice. Adams takes Wheeler right into the boards over there, right in front of the Penguins bench, and next to Bob Harry. Keep your hands up around your face there, Bob.
I'm trying. Wheeler's got long arms and a long stick, and he got thrust into the bench by Craig Adams. Craig Adams has been doing a lot of that.
Sidney Crosby looks back for the trailer. The pass just didn't get there in time. England, or maybe England didn't get there in time, and then he retreats to center ice.
Good point.
Now Hainsey banks it off the board. And Sid risks it to the line, but it's picked off by Stewart, and Mark Stewart comes ahead. Now for Slater, and an offside call on the Jets as they enter the Penguin zone with a minute 10 to go. 13 shots for the Penguins, 11 for the Jets. It's been an offensive period of hockey for sure.
Sidney Crosby has been absolutely flying. Look at that distribution to Tyler Kennedy. Kenny got on board. He drew a penalty in this hockey game on Bufflin. And then the backdoor pass. Malkin to Neal on the power play. Sidney Crosby with a pair of assists. He is racking them up right now. You talk about points per game. I know Malkin is kind of the king of that. We've showed you a lot of graphics displaying that for the NHL's leading scorer. But Sidney Crosby is putting on some kind of show right now.
7 assists in 4 games. Here's Kane with a shooting and Thiessen the save, and no rebound with Vermistrov going to the net. Take a look at Sid, and he's once again racking up the points. And that's the thing. I mean, he's one of those guys that I mentioned it the other day in Jersey. You look at the score sheet at the end of the game, and he's got all those cookies. And he obviously turned himself into a prolific goal scorer. Last year he was on pace to score 60. Now he's gone a career high 10 without, and he said that he's concentrating more maybe on still thinking about beating the guy before he actually worries about beating the goaltender. So he's had a couple of chances where he's blown by some defensemen, but maybe thinking too much about making sure he beats that defender and not concentrating or thinking ahead to what he's going to do once he actually aims at the target, the goal. So it's just a process of getting all those things in order and back into the swing of scoring goals in the NHL, which will happen, I think, tonight. Maybe tonight. Certainly not going to take very long.
That was just a good spirited period. A couple of power play goals by both these teams as time is ticking down right now. And a little hatred as Kane goes into the Jets bench and Staal into the Penguins bench.
This is Little in his own zone. He tried to clear, and Martin did not get there in time to hold it in, and only 2.1 seconds remaining.
Faceoff will be in the neutral zone. And Sidney Crosby, interesting to see tonight how Dan Bousman manages his ice time. We saw in the graphic there, 15, 16, 17 minutes. That was with 3 games in 3.5 days. Now Sidney Crosby, we'll see what happens. 6:42 so far. You parlay that into, you do the math, Staggy. You got about 19 minutes, just over 19 minutes in this one. Penguins will be able to get a rest. Not playing the back-to-back situation here today and tomorrow. We'll see if he gets closer to that 20 minutes.
13 shots for Pittsburgh, 12 for the Jets. Each team with a power play goal, each team with a pair. As we look at our Fort Pitt Capital by the numbers first period recap.
Well, other than that onslaught of shots that Pavelec had to absorb from the Penguins power play, everything else has been relatively even in this one. And you got one team looking to get to the playoffs, another team looking to win the conference.
Tyler Kennedy converting that Sidney Crosby pass. We'll talk with Dan Potash. Our UPMC Sports Medicine feature coming up, and highlights and analysis of what should be a very entertaining game between the Penguins and the Jets.
Penguins hockey on Root Sports is brought to you by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, helping you have a greater hand in your health. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today.
Our first intermission interview is brought to you by your friends at the Western PA Chevy dealers, where the Jets and the Penguins are tied at 2. Tyler Kennedy, I guess it was only a matter of time before Sidney Crosby found you. He found Tyler Cook about 4 times over the weekend. I guess it was nice to finally set you up.
Yeah, for sure. He's a world-class player, and when you're playing, you got to get open and be ready for the pass.
Can you never be alert enough with those quick hands?
Yeah, for sure. They move pretty quick, and just make sure you're ready and be prepared to shoot.
Real quickly, the 2 teams combining for 15 shots and 4 goals in this first period. You guys combined for 13 not too long ago. Are we in for another shootout?
I don't know. Hopefully not, so we'll see.
All right, Tyler, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a very quick timeout. We return. Our friends at UPMC Sports Medicine are talking travel hockey. The Pens and Jets tied at 2 after 1 on Root Sports. Tyler Kennedy and James Neal are on the board. Pens and Jets tied at 2 after 1 period of play. You know, playing in an occasional pickup hockey game is one thing. Playing for a traveling team, well, that's something else. More games equals more goals, but can also equal more injuries. Well, our friends at UPMC Sports Medicine tell you how you can stay healthy and how you can stay in the game. The days of kids playing football in the backyard or hockey in the driveway aren't completely gone. But with more organized sports for kids than ever, a neighborhood game is certainly not the only game in town anymore, regardless of the sport. And with coaches getting more time to evaluate kids' talents, the growth of more elite, competitive travel teams has followed. Now, many families are finding long car trips a part of their pregame routines.
You probably average about 2 weekends per month during the winter months for travel. That includes going out of town. There are travel that you consider. There are the people on the team, the kids on the team live in all different areas, so they have to travel to practice, which is twice a week, as well as games on the weekends. So the time commitment is huge.
With hockey in particular, you have to go where the ice is, and even fairly close trips can be a few hours away, not to mention the overnight or week-long tournaments. With so much time spent so far from home, parents have to pack more than a bottle of water.
We try to make sure that they're well fed, that the amount of food and intake that they take is more of the healthy type of food. We try to make sure they stay hydrated throughout.
The traveling athlete also has many concerns and challenges that they have to consider to not only stay at the top of their game, but to stay healthy. There are several factors that Dr. Thomas Sisk, a UPMC Sports Medicine physician, wants parents and their young athletes to be aware of.
So I would normally encourage parents to and their coaches to plan team meals, bring readily sources of healthy snacks along with them, and even bring healthy pre-game and post-game food for their kids, because what happens is after they play their game or after they have a team practice, they're usually looking for the first thing they can shove in their mouth to eat, and they don't care if it's healthy or not. They're just starving. For instance, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich can actually give somebody, eaten 30 minutes to 45 minutes before a game, can give a kid enough energy to go through the entire game. So I think choosing a healthy alternative is probably the better way to go here.
Parents and their kids make a huge investment of time, effort, and money to be part of a traveling team. And by taking care of themselves and recognizing the challenges of being on the road, they can protect those investments and ensure a more enjoyable time for all. So how does James Neal feel about his 15th power play goal of the season? Yeah, pretty good. What's in store for us in a second? We're about to find out on Root Sports.
All rights to this copyrighted telecast are reserved. This copyrighted telecast is presented by Root Sports under the authority of Pittsburgh Penguins LP. This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, rebroadcasted, re-recorded, or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of Pittsburgh Penguins LP.
When the Pittsburgh Penguins beat the Winnipeg Jets 8-5 on February 11th, the game was tied 2-2 after 20 minutes of play. that's where we are again. Are we going to see a replay tonight, Bob? What do you think?
Well, it's quite possible. A lot of good opportunities. If there's going to be power plays, you will see it. But take a look at a Range Resources telestration. You're going to look at the support on the Penguins power play, not just the movement, but the puck support. Stop it here. Look at the triangle they form. This is kind of an upper triangle. James Neal in the middle. Malkin's is going to slide it down to James Neal. Little triangle between the two defensemen and James Neal. The Penguins, look at the opportunities they have. This is a good pursuit by Sidney Crosby, getting to a loose puck. He's able to beat the Winnipeg Jets to the puck. You have to outwork the penalty killing unit. 5 guys have to outwork them. Look at this. Get to that puck. Nice little support play. There's James Neal. He fills in again high like a defenseman as Malkin goes in. The Penguins, look at the options. Crosby gets his stick available, doesn't he? And when he's engaged, Sidney Crosby's looking for pressure. He's going to get that pressure from the defenseman. There's the triangle. Everybody converging on the net. Pressure, pressure. Come to me, come to me, come to me. There it is. The pass across, and Neal across the body one time. That's not an easy shot. Easier for a righty, but Neal able to put it in. 15 power play goals to Ty Hartnell in that category. And great to see Tyler Kennedy on the board.
And you just got to love the way Evgeny Malkin, after being in the box and watching Brian Little score that power play goal, came out of the box, drew a penalty, and then took part in the power play goal scored by James Neal, his 33rd goal of the season. And we'll be back with the second period. Look for more goals, folks. It's going to be a fun game to watch. The Pens and the Jets from Consol Energy Center.
It's not supposed to be. It's a commitment that requires dedication, desire, and heart. Its peaks are supreme. Its valleys are trying. Being a fan isn't just about the thrill of triumph. It's far more demanding than that. If being a fan were easy, it wouldn't be great.
It's almost like a little kid and your mom getting you a present. You know what it is, but you still can't open it. That's how I feel. You get to the field and you're ready to go on the field, but you're there hours and hours before the game starts, and you just want to get out there. But it's not game time yet, and all that builds up. And when they say here 2012 Pittsburgh Pirates, and you run out there on that field, man, it's just an overwhelming feeling.
Phillies and Pirates, April 5th at 12:30, presented by Burger King.
Well, Sidney Crosby now has 17 points in 8 games against Andre Pavlik. Let's take a look at what he did in the first period. He did get a couple of assists.
Pretty impressive numbers. A lot of good passes. You don't see that on his line, but you do see the 2 assists. I mean, Sidney Crosby has been really at a top level coming back again.
And tonight's face-offs are presented by the new face of Northwood Realty Services. Face-offs were even in that first period.
Well, what really stood out in that first period was the Penguins' power play. They had 8 of the 13 Penguin shots on the power play, moved the puck around brilliantly. The Jets' power play, we mentioned, was 30 on the road, number 30 in the league. There's only 30 teams. Their penalty killing is 27th on the road, and hence they're not winning a lot of road games.
And as you mentioned in the first period, 7 of their last 10, beginning with this one tonight, are on the road. There's a chance. And Thiessen got over to make the save right off the hop here. He stopped Andrew Ladd busting down the left wing. And that's a couple of really good saves that Thiessen's made moving across. Here's Letang in front for Stahl. And Pavlik somehow kept the puck out. A great save on Jordan Stahl.
He was just stuck under his pad as he moved from left to right. The referee didn't blow the whistle. The puck was jarred loose and the Penguins almost scored.
Stahl again. Great chances at both ends of the rink, and that's pretty much how this game has gone. And will continue to go. Now Sullivan after it. He peels away and goes to the bench.
It went from offside to icing. Went from an offside, delayed offside to an icing as Sullivan was offside. Here's the chance. Pass across. Look at Pavlik's moving from his left to his right, and he thinks he's got it underneath that pad. Didn't warrant a whistle, apparently, to the referee. And the Penguins played to that whistle and almost got one behind Pavlik. Now they're going to want Sullivan to come back. He thought he was on the bench off the change. You remember you said he was coming back to the bench, but it went from an offside to an icing. Sullivan is dragged back on the ice by the linesman, and Kunitz has got to go to the bench.
Now some traffic being directed here prior to the drop of the puck.
And there's a conversation here as well between Noel, between the referee and some of the players on the Jets bench. That's all the rest of Penguins needed.
Penguins gave the puck to the Jets there, but Kane couldn't take it behind the net. Hainsey over to keep it in. Malkin right there, try to move it ahead to Sullivan, gets it back, and wanders off his stick. And Hainsey ahead to Kane. Wellwood's open on the right wing. He drops it off instead. And Kane shoots it, and it's blocked by McCulloch. He's somehow got a stick on that shot. Eastrov and Kane teaming up, and now Neal with a shot. That's blocked. Malkin gets it to the goal. He crouches into the goaltender, and the puck squirts free. Neal with a shot. He scores!
When you got the hot hand, you got to use it. There's James Neal. He's got a second of the night. The Penguins stay hard to the net. Kane makes a good job, a good play on Malkin, but the Penguins again play to the whistle. And look at the goaltender, Pavlik. He's out of position, just like on the stall opportunity we just showed you. Pavlik's looking around. He's just not quite in position for this Neal shot. Neal's got a little seam on the short side. It's 3-2 Pittsburgh, and this is a good old-fashioned shootout.
It looked to me, Bob, like Pavlik just didn't have enough urgency there. I mean, when you're playing against the Penguins, you got to get back up and back into position in a hurry. He was not quick back to his feet, back to position, and Neal took advantage of that.
I don't know if it's urgency so much or it's athleticism or he's just tired because he just doesn't move like Marc-Andre Fleury. We've been accustomed to seeing Marc-Andre Fleury each and every night, Staggy. Pavlik's a bigger goaltender, takes him a little bit longer to get himself going.
Now it's Grant Klitzen with pressure from Matt Cook, a pair of 24s. Klitzen able to work it back to center, and Crosby just dumps it rink wide for Tyler Kennedy. Kennedy to the puck. Cook goes to the front of the net. Kennedy holds it, fires, and a save by Pavlik, and the rebound came right off the leg of Mahacek and just ricocheted wide of the open short side.
Remember, Joe Meloche said he's a good first save goalie. He didn't mention anything about his second and third saves. Maybe that's what Joe Meloche was alluding to. He'll make the first one, but not always the second and third.
Chance for Miettinen going to the net. Niskanen ties him up. A couple of former teammates with the Dallas Stars. Maxwell sent it back around right side and whipped right through the high slot by Stapleton. Penguins get control of it and cleared by Engelland off the boards, or did it hit a Winnipeg Jet? It must have been the bench, and the whistle blows.
Take one more look at this goal as Malkin goes to the net hard. Kane converges on him. The Penguins stay hard and true to that puck, and it just gets to the stick of James Neal. Look at Pavlik. He's on his stomach. He's trying to get up to his butterfly position, and as he's doing that, he's fumbling with his stick as well. He just nothing. The coordination just wasn't there, was it, for the big netminder? We have a delay right now. The Zamboni door is open, and Bufflin's heading back.
And the reason Pavlik was down is because Malkin backed right into him.
Oh, we got broken glass. We got broken glass. We got Tanner glass.
We were talking about the home and road records of the Winnipeg Jets. And you can see the difference. The disparity is remarkable, really. Look at that. Goal differential is really unbelievable, really. It's going to be a tough road to hoe, to say the least, for the Winnipeg Jets as they try to challenge the Washington Capitals for that last playoff.
He has 88 reasons to feel pretty good about this season. He has 88 points, but here are two more. Mom and Dad, that's right, Vladimir and Natalia have been back in town here in Pittsburgh for the last 2 weeks. I had a chance to sit down with them earlier tonight. You will hear our interview with them coming up during Thursday's first intermission when the Penguins meet the Nashville Predators. And guys, hey, their English is getting much better.
It's great to see them.
They're awesome. They really are. Lots of fun to talk to.
So's Gino.
Yeah, and he's moved up to 90 points, Danny. He's moved up to 90 with 2 points here in this one tonight. Evgeny Malkin, 6 now in front of Steven Stamkos and Claude Giroux of the Flyers.
And Malkin averaging about 1.4 points per game. Stamkos 1.17 and Giroux 1.24. So Malkin's points per game average much higher. Penguins will meet the Nashville Predators on Thursday, and the Predators might have a great Russian player in their lineup. Alexander Radulov will be back, and he was on a plane today on his way back to Nashville. And he's one of the best players in the world, probably the best player in the world who isn't playing in the NHL. And he's coming back to the Predators, so look for the Predators to be even better than they already are, and they're one of the top teams in the NHL.
Boy, that's exciting to hear that he's back in the National Hockey League.
They're Mr. and Mrs. Malkin, sitting right there with the fans, having a great time watching their son, who's on his way hopefully to an MVP season.
Well, there's a lot of hardware out there that Malkin certainly could, should, might win, but you know his focus is the Stanley Cup, and he's said it many a time. What a leader he has been in the absence of Crosby, Stahl when he's been injured. He's improved every facet of his game, including the face-offs, his defensive play. And Malkin has just had an MVP season.
And I think, Bob, too, that it's really helped him to have 2 really good line mates to collaborate with. There's a chance for Letang. He shoots it, and Pavlik makes the save. Who's behind him? And it doesn't go in. That's a miracle. Now Letang guns one wide of the goal. That puck squirted in behind him, and there were 2 Jets there with their sticks down to keep it out, including Toby Enstrom, whose stick is about 30 feet long. Now Bufflin hits Martin with it. That felt good. Paul Martin looks back, and Letang's got the puck.
Jesse James, he shot him right in the back.
Here's Wheeler trying to split the D. Drops it off. Now Ladd with a shot. It took him a second to pull the trigger. Works it in front. Tangradi was there. Came right by him, but it's cleared aside. Dupuis over to challenge Toby Enstrom, who works it down low to Wheeler. He tried to move it in front. The Penguins break it up. Adams ahead for Dupuis. The pass not there. And the puck back into the Winnipeg zone. Enstrom shortens up on that long stick. Moves it up the left wing, and it's Ladd with it. Closing in. To Little a shot. He scores. Ryan Little ties the game.
Well, once again, the puck got right through Pavlik, and Gilles Meloche's words are ringing in my ears about him being only a first-save goaltender. Not only that, but the puck got behind him. It didn't get over the goal line, apparently. They're going to take a look at this. It was behind me. I could not see where the puck went. There it is, stop. It certainly didn't go over. Look at this fake right there, freezing the goaltender, Thiessen. Thiessen comes across on his stomach, and Little gets the puck up. This is a beautiful play by Ladd. Stretch pass. Penguins are changing. Just a little fake, a little hesitation. Thiessen's got to appreciate that. He can't get across in the butterfly. He's sprawling on his emblem, on his Penguin logo, and we're tied at 3 when the Penguins were almost up by 2.
By the way, Little now has 9 goals on the road. He's got 12 at home. He's one of the guys whose numbers are pretty even home and road for the Winnipeg Jets. Some of the other guys have real lopsided numbers that are a reflection of those other numbers we showed you. By the way, that was Ben Maxwell, who put his stick down to prevent that puck from going over the goal line earlier. He's a forward. Here's Malkin on his backhand. Swings around the net. Over now for Orpik, driving to the goal, and he fanned on the shot with an open net. Kunis back to the net. He fires it wide. Out for McCulloch. He'll dump it deep. Hainsey to the puck. Ron Hainsey sends it up the wall, and it bounces up into the Penguin zone. My goodness, this game, don't blink your eyes because you might miss a puck going into the net.
Yeah, good responses, though, by the Jets. They've been fortunate, haven't they? The Penguins hit a goal post. They come down and score. The Penguins look like they're up by 2. As the puck goes through Pavlik, they come down and score. So they've been able to respond. They've been hanging on the edge of that cliff. And there's that one little fake, the foot up by Ladd. Just a little fake of a shot. Freezes the netminder, Thiessen. Gets it right onto the tape of Little. And he may have created himself a passing lane as well, Staggy, with that little pass. Nice play by Ladd, the captain.
Now Crosby. Slater tried to line him up. He was was able to slip that check, and Malkin with it with Niskanen driving to the net. He hit Niskanen with the shot, and it comes right to Pavlik, who's able to freeze it.
Well, this is a little kind of hovercraft move, if you will, by Sidney Crosby, who was able to stop, see Slater come at him, and then slip that check by almost going backwards like that. That was something special.
Like a hummingbird.
Yes, exactly. I think lobsters, they go backwards too, don't they? I think they do. You try to pick one up, they'll go backwards on you. And there's Mario. You got to appreciate that. The Penguins didn't appreciate it on the bench here. They know Slater was coming. They all yelled, of course, heads up.
Dupuis tried to center it. Comes now to Wheeler. To Toby Enstrom. Swings wide, shoots it down low. Thiessen looks for the puck to cover it, and he does get it in time to draw the whistle.
It's really been hard to really judge Thiessen in a game like this. He's made some spectacular saves. 3 have got behind him. I'm not going to fault him really on any of the goals. This has kind of been an up and down style of game where teams have responded both with power play goals and with quick responses off the rush after each other has had great opportunities.
Glorious scoring chances at both ends of the rink. There goes Little again. Little to the net. And it was blocked. Comes right to Buffalo and moved up on the play. Then chopped wide on a one-timer by Ladd. And finally Brooks Orpik has control of it. Ahead to Stahl and now to Dupuis. Right back to Stahl. Sullivan did everything he could to stay on side there. Penguins had to stop their progress in the neutral zone. It would have been an offside play, and now Stahl does dump it in behind the net. Bufflin there sends it back around. Pascal Dupuis able to get to the puck first, and Orpik dumps it behind the net. Sullivan let it go. Andrew Ladd takes it. Head of the right wing and break Wheeler. Wheeler with Little. Little goes offside, and the whistle blows. Hold on to your hats. You might need.
This has been an up and down game, Dan, and it looks like your team had an opportunity to go up by 2, and they respond quickly.
Well, they had 2 in the crease there. We had a chance to go up by Sid poking away at the goalie and then poke one free, but they've really been opportunistic. Anything in the neutral zone, they've got guys going hard in the rush. Their D are joining, and they got the tire there.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Well, Dan Bowson was busy at that last time out, looking at his iPad, if you will, with Tony Granato, looking at the situations on the ice. Technology is a crazy thing, Staggy, and they're all using it here.
I know. Steve Sullivan was telling me in part of that conversation I had with him about how he brings the puck up the ice on the power play. He said, I'll go look at the iPads too sometimes. Here's a chance for Slater, and it rolled off his stick as he tried to turn it to the forehand. Sullivan will check and see what the penalty killers are up to, just like they do in football now. I mean, you can use the technology to make adjustments.
Yep, and who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Sullivan, nice.
True. Here's Crosby soaring in, drops it off to TK. Tyler Kennedy turns it to the net, and it's blocked, but Cook strong, able to get to the puck for Sid behind the net. In front, Kennedy, he scores! Tyler Kennedy with another one on a beautiful setup by Sid.
Well, it's Tyler Kennedy again, or is it 87, Sidney Crosby again? He tries to split the D. The puck comes back to him after this play. Sidney Crosby is going to get to the loose puck as the Penguins cycle it. Beats all the Jets to the puck. Once again, Pavlik, look at his head. He's looking around to the left. The puck comes out. He has no idea where Tyler Kennedy is. The Jets defense have to take away Tyler Kennedy. You have to actually seal off Sidney Crosby. If you don't beat him to the puck, you better take away his options. Tyler Kennedy's a pretty good option.
Now James Neal down the wing. James Neal holds the puck, leaves it for Kunitz around Burmistrov, and he backhanded it right through the slot. And Pavlik is probably already starting to think about that last time he was here. And all the numbers, they just add up so negatively for him. You just wonder why Claude Noel doesn't go to the backup goaltender. Another turnover by the Jets. You can't turn the puck over in the gray area against these guys. Malkin a shot at Pavlik to save. And they're leaving their goaltender hung out to dry right now, but
yes, Their goaltender that's 1-9 against the Penguins all time, not just the last game. And he just he doesn't have it right now. Penguins are tormenting him, and boy, have they been good down low behind that goal line, especially Sidney Crosby in this one.
And I'll tell you, it's encouraging to see Tyler Kennedy finishing off those plays for Sid. And that's a feather in his hat.
It really is. Of course, what a tremendous season Tyler Kennedy finished last year. He was really the Penguins' go-to guy.
Now Dupuis takes the puck ahead for Stahl. Penguins come in waves with Stahl and Crosby and Malkin. And let's go down to Bob Airy.
Well, Staggy, I'm here. The defense are right beside me in the second period, so they can be closer to their goaltender. The Jets took advantage of a poor Penguin change for the third goal. But the Penguins have taken advantage offensively, having their offensemen forwards down at the other zone. They can jump on the ice quickly onside, and they've been getting down low for those tight plays around the crease. We've seen Neal score 2 goals right around the net. We've seen Tyler Kennedy score 2 goals right around the net. I think that accounts for all the goal scoring by Pittsburgh.
Great read by Sullivan to pick off the lead pass and find Dupuis, who shoots it wide of the goal to the far side. Andrew Ladd ahead for Little. He couldn't take the pass cleanly. Dupuis to the puck, but then Bufflin carries in. He drops it off. Little turning shot. That's blocked by Niskanen. Sullivan follows on to get control of it. And Niskanen to Stahl. Stahl just feeds it back to neutral ice.
It's funny, games like this, you can feel pretty good as a player, but you got to be aware, it's still a 1-goal hockey game. And when I say that, I mean the Penguins. Look out, Dupuis took out a man.
Enstrom went down, Dupuis to the goal, and Pavlik makes the glove save on Pascal Dupuis.
Well, he got tangled up with Enstrom. And then he looked around looking for a penalty, and Pascal Dupuis was off to the races. Enstrom's not a big guy. We saw Malkin overtake him, and right there we see Pascal Dupuis just passionate on the puck. Enstrom really lost where the puck was in that situation. And Dupuis was just going towards the puck when the two collided. Enstrom was going the wrong way, away from the puck. He had no idea where it was.
Letang now works it at Crosby. Bogosian with it. They work the front of the net to get the puck out and don't. Yedlin threw it back into the middle. Not a good play there. Crosby to Martin, a shot. Pavlik to save. And Asham went hard to the net, but Pavlik able to hang on to the puck for another face-off in the Jet zone. And Bob, you were saying you still got to be sharp as a player because it's only a 1-goal game. And the same thing with the goaltenders. I mean, you could allow 5 or 6 goals in this game, and you still might have to make that one big save that makes the difference in the hockey game.
Well, is that man from Kladno? Does he have that kind of quality? Is he a playoff goaltender? Can he suck it up and allow 4, but still maybe propel his team to a win and thus a playoff position? These are all the ways you judge good goaltenders. Grant Fuhr was the best really at it. He could give up 4 or 5, still win a 7-5 game for the Oilers. That's the kind of mentality you have to have as a goaltender, and you got to keep your team in the game.
Now it's Tangradi to the puck in deep. Hit by Bogosian. He keeps on working on the end wall. Tangradi gets up. Puck squirts free. Asham gets control. He tried to center it. But it's Kyle Wellwood coming back now for the Jets along with Evander Kane. Works into the court to Vermeestrov and Kane. And Vermeestrov in behind the net. He goes for the puck. And it keeps going to the far side where McCulloch. Try to spring Tangradi at center. The pass went behind him to the net. Bufflin hit by Tangradi. They both go down. That's a big guy that Tangradi just knocked down. And here comes Bufflin charging ahead. Shoots it hard, but it's off a stick and up into the netting. And the whistle blows. Tyler Kennedy with a pair, breaking a 7.
Sources.
Well, the Penguins' victory Saturday was their 1500th in franchise history, and the month of March seems to be the month to hit milestones. Guys, look back in time. Win number 250, March 21st. 1000, March 21st, and the 1500th on the 17th. Something about the mid-month of March when it comes to getting big wins.
Pittsburgh Penguins have become noted for winning. It's amazing. For so many years, they were one of those teams that people kind of looked sideways at and wondered if they'd even be lasting much past the 70s. Bankruptcy in the mid-70s. A couple more crisis times. There's Malkin with it, trying to get to the goal, spinning around and lost control of the puck.
Penguins were able to get the top line against the fourth line of the Jets. Now Enstrom and Buffalo come on late.
There goes Malkin. He's got room. He shoots. Save made. Rebound cleared aside by Enstrom. Another big save by Pavlik. Now McCulloch works it in deep. Malkin takes it again. Gino try to center for Neal. Now he'll just control the puck at center. Crosby with 3 assists. Neal with 2 goals. Cook with 2 assists. Neal hauled down. That's a penalty. Malkin with a puck. Extra attacker comes on for the Penguins. Neal shot off the net. Off target. And now taken by Kunitz, who leaves it for Sidney Crosby. 6 attackers for the Penguins. Kunitz with a puck. Back to Sid. Crosby to Kunitz. Centers. And it goes right past Letang. Sid will get to the puck. Penguins continue to control it. Malkin to Letang. Crosby to Malkin. Tees it up. Scores! Number 200 for Evgeny Malkin.
And there's Mom and Dad up on their feet, along with his crowd in Pittsburgh, and the Penguins with the extra attacker on. Crosby could have shot the puck, but he knew that Pavlik was squared up. He was able to freeze Pavlik, give it to the guy with the golden gun, and that's Evgeny Malkin, who was able to rip that shot under the blocker and over the right pad of Pavlik. Pavlik is just getting up right now. He's not in position. He's gassed right now. I can see his equipment moving up and down. He absolutely cannot breathe underneath his equipment right now. The Penguins, if they can get another opportunity, they might be able to pounce on the tired netminder. Tired physically and mentally.
MVP chants come from the crowd here at Consol Energy Center.
Crosby's got 4 assists on the night. What a play by Sidney Crosby. Knew exactly where Malkin was.
Scary. Scary to watch. Must be scary for goaltenders. You think of the dominance of the Penguins offensively against the Devils the other day and how they dominated the game for 2 periods against the Flyers. It wasn't reflected on the scoreboard. And now here tonight, as they return home, they've got 5 goals and we've got 7:35 to go. Engelland just flattened Grant Blitzham, and now it's Wheeler to the goal. And he moves it out to the point to Bogosian. Blitzham shoots it, looking for a redirect. It comes off the corner boards. Bogosian able to hold it in. Niskanen behind the net. And the Jets pretty good in the offensive zone. Every time they're in there, they create some problems with the Penguins start out.
Talking about problems, how about the two-headed monster? They have not been together much. Every time they're together, they are creating problems right now. They are a handful, and Sidney Crosby's time in his back. And we talked about, you mentioned 200 goals, Staggy. Malkin did it in 417 games. Look at the other players.
And look at the Malkin parents are on the Jumbotron here, or the big scoreboard here, and they're going crazy.
Yep. Wow. And here comes Pavlik. Pavlik's off the ice right now. As we look at the Mr. and Mrs. Malkin. Pavlik goes down the runway. Mason's in. That could have happened earlier.
I've been amazed at how much little faith they must have in Mason, because they let Pavlik stay in for the entire 8-goal game last time, and they looked like they were in the process of doing the same thing here tonight. But they finally had mercy on him and took him out of the net.
Well, it doesn't mean the Penguins are going to have mercy on the Jets. They want to fill the net right here. But I'll tell you, Pavlik was just gassed after that. He really was. When you're a netminder and players, teams pass it around like the Penguins are right now, Steggy.
Here's Crosby shooting. Blocker save made by Mason. When I saw Mason, he was reacting to the turnover the one time at the blue line right in front of him, like as if to say, come on, guys. You're making it tough for my partner here. Here's Bufflin with it, and now he's in the net. Bufflin shoots it. It's blocked by Brooks Orpik. 5-3 Penguins. And Vermistrov sends it through the front of the net area. Goes up into the netting on the far side. 5 shots for the Jets in the period. And the Penguins have 12. Our day automotive this day in Penguins history, March 20th, 93. Mario Lemieux with 4 goals. His 30th hat trick against the Philadelphia Flyers. And Tommy Soderstrom was the goaltender. Mario in the box with Pierre LaRouche. Edstrom shot blocked by Tangradi. Picked up now by Adams. Letang fakes the shot. Tangradi dumps it deep. Asham, Adams, and Tangradi for the Penguins. And their job, get the puck deep, work it down low. Some offensive zone time. This is Stapleton. Stapleton to the goal. Turns the corner. And they cycle, the high cycle here. Maxwell and Mahachek on the ice right now, along with Stapleton. Centering pass, they score! Stapleton right at the doorstep. Makes it 5-4.
Wow. We have way too much time left in this game to even think about getting comfortable. The Penguins' fourth line on the ice. And the Jets take off Byfuglien and Enstrom. And they get contributions from Maxwell, Stapleton and company to win that fourth line battle. Just Martin unable to tie up the stick of Stapleton. Stapleton creating just enough space to get himself his stick on that puck. Nice little feed by Maxwell in tight quarters. You'd really like to see your netminder help out a little bit in that situation. Maybe get his stick out there and prevent that pass from coming through the blue paint. Nonetheless, it's a 4-foot pass. It's a goal. Another goal right on the doorstep. We've seen a ton of those of the 9 tonight so far.
How do you stop it, Bob? How do you stop it from spiraling into a game like this where you're essentially answering or being answered by goals from the other squad when you're apparently having your way, and not necessarily. How do you stop the bleeding?
Well, you have to play with the puck in the opposition's end. I mean, plain and simple. You have to not think that you're going to score 10. It may happen, but you have to play defense first. If the puck is in your end, the chances are you're going to get scored against. The Penguins' fourth line unable to stop the Jets' fourth line. It's a long way to go in this one, and I don't see anything stopping it right now unless you can manage the puck just a little bit better.
Here's Malkin with it now. And the puck wouldn't cooperate, and offside is called.
Well, that's a prime example right there. I mean, that puck could have easily went the other way. Yes, Malkin could have made another great play, and it could have been a go-ahead goal, but it definitely could have been a turnover and the puck going the other way, and that's how games turn. And the Penguins know that they can win a shootout, think they can win a shootout against the Winnipeg Jets. So they're going to give up a little bit defensively, knowing that if the Jets want to play run and gun, the Penguins figure they have the guns. Doesn't always work that way, though.
By the way, this is Chris Mason's first appearance in 9 games for the Winnipeg Jets. He's in net now, replacing Andre Pavlik, who gave up 5 goals. Pavlik went down the runway, kicking and screaming. Here's a centering pass for Little going to the net, and he almost steered that one in.
Well, the Jets got their
with it now to
top line,
Byfuglien. Byfuglien's shot blocked in front of Thiessen. Enstrom again carries in and shoots it off the shin pads of Steve Sullivan. Ladd sent it to the point. Byfuglien to Ladd, who pops up high and finds Enstrom. Back for Byfuglien. He tried to steer it to the goal. He did, but didn't get a lot on it. And Thiessen able to freeze it.
Well, they had what they wanted. They had their top line, the Jets, against the Penguins. Line of Stahl, Dupuis, but Niskanen and Englund were the defensemen, not Orpik. And there's assist number 1, assist number 2 for Sidney Crosby here on the power play. Assist number 3 down low to Tyler Kennedy for his second. And then just freezing the goaltender Pavlik and the odd man situation. It was a delayed penalty there, 6-on-5. Well, that's a 6-on-5 goal, a power play goal, an even strength assist. Can we get 5 assists 5 different ways, Staggy? We got the power play, the 6-on-5.
Well, you can't get one on a penalty shot.
No, but you could for the empty net. That could happen tonight. And what else? We just need a shorty. We'll get 5. Stick with me, Staggy. Stick with me. Come on.
There's TK to Cook. I'm having a tough time sticking with this as it is. 5-4. It's fun to watch, though.
Well, there he is, the machine out of Magnitogorsk.
Malkamania.
91 points. He's got 3 points here in this one, a goal and 2 assists, including his 200th career goal. Look where he's first and second in all those other categories in the National Hockey League. I tell you, as a spectator, this is a fun one to watch.
Oh, yeah. He had a 5-point game in the last meeting between these two clubs at 8-5.
Poor Pavlik. Seriously.
I know.
He's just sent him a get-well card.
That's 17 points in 10 games for Malkin against Pavlik. And Crosby now has 19 points in 8 games against him. And Brooks Orpik finds James Neal at center. Malkin right behind him, takes the puck. The Neal is shot. He scores! The hat trick for James Neal.
And that one there was a heat-seeking missile. Not a chance that was going to be stopped by Mason. The Penguins go into the offensive zone with speed. Watch this little give and go. Neal knows it's coming back. He opens up. Malkin puts it right in the wheelhouse. This reminds me of the goal that Neal scored against Tampa Bay Lightning in the playoffs last year. That bad angle shot, that perfect shot, high to the short side over the glove. That one there was unstoppable, folks. That was a 100-mile-an-hour slap shot by James Neal.
His first hat trick as a Penguin, the second of his career, the first since December 23rd of 08. And he was a member of the Dallas Stars. And the Rifleman, the real deal, now has 3 more notches in his belt. And he has scored his 35th goal of the season on another setup by Evgeny Malkin. Let's take a look at the hat trick for James Neal.
Well, in tight, James Neal across the body, just getting that shot on the net. That was and that one there, short side, just a quick little flick of the wrist. And this one here, I'll tell you, that came off his stick, in and out of the net so quickly you could barely blink. What a shot, and you knew it was getting there. As soon as he dropped that pass to Malkin, Neal opened up, realizing he was going to get it back. Not many players would even expect a pass back when you're almost in the corner. It was a beautiful, beautiful give and go by Malkin and Neal, and those two, since they've been united, they have been bread and butter.
As I was saying earlier, when you were talking about all the things that Malkin has improved at, I think that's probably one of the big factors in his explosion this year too, is the fact that he's had the opportunity to play with the same very high caliber wingers for the entire time. Something he really didn't have before. There's a shot by Miettinen and the save made by Thiessen. He kind of fought it off right in the mask. And Malkin comes right back. Threw it into the middle. Paul Martin keeps it moving north. Kunis swings it up into the Jet zone. He's hit by Klitzen and the puck goes out of play.
And that's what I mean. The Penguins, if you want to play run and gun, the Penguins feel that they can beat you at that type of game, and why not? Look at the guns they have right now. I mean, oh man, this has been fun watching down here. Up and down action. When you see Malkin go by, then you see Stahl go by, then you see Crosby dipsy-doodling around, then you see Letang. I mean, it's been great both ends of the rink. They have some talented players on the Winnipeg Jets, and they're not going to quit, guys. They are 4 points out of a playoff spot. They had their top line against the Penguins' third line and second and third defensive pairing. And Buffalo almost scored backdoor to tie it up. This game could turn on a dime. The Penguins, you got to be careful. You got to have respect for your opponent, as they always do.
Just reminiscent a little bit, Bob, of your days in the late 80s and early 90s in the NHL, and just seeing goals being scored with such regularity.
Yes, you're exactly right. You became accustomed to seeing an 8-5 game, didn't you? 7-4, especially when you had Mr. Lemieux on your team. Look out here. Here come the Jets again.
Another backhand try by Wellwood was stopped by Thiessen. Now Crosby and Cook team up, but they're offside as they enter the attacking zone.
Yep, Sid and Bufflin. Sid wanted to get back on side. Bufflin didn't let him. He ran a roadblock. Look at the multi-point nights that these players are having for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yep, great. They're getting their cookies tonight.
Great to see.
And you know, Bob, it made me think too that there are rare occasions when great offensive players can take advantage of a goaltender who's having a tough time or has historically had a tough time with the team, and they really love to take advantage of it and exploit the opportunity to really rack up the points. And that's the feeling you get right now. Wheeler shoots it high and wide off the glass.
Well, that's why these guys are playing hockey. That's why they're paid to put up numbers like they're doing right now. And here they come again.
Sullivan with Dupuis and Stahl. Stahl with a shot, and Mason makes the save and hangs on to it.
You know, the Jets have thrown the body around the last couple of shifts. We saw Stewart step into a Penguin forward in the middle of the ice, James Neal. Then we saw Bufflin step into Sidney Crosby, and there is Stahl stepping into a shot that Mason's able to absorb. But so this tells me that I think there'll still be some fight left in this Jet team. They're going to hang around. I think the next goal is a very important goal in this hockey game. I really believe that.
Dustin Bufflin moves it out into the middle of the ice. They go to the right wing and Blake Wheeler. He's got a man busting to the net. Little goes to the late man instead, Enstrom. Enstrom around Dupuis. Little's in front of the net. Enstrom turns the corner. Shoots the puck, and a good save by Thiessen. And that was a good shot by Enstrom. Looking for that upper right-hand corner where James Neal went. And Thiessen had to be alert to get that glove up and make the save.
That was a great save. Enstrom shortening up on the stick, taking a pass right at the blue line from Wheeler. It was a beautiful, beautiful pass that he was able to absorb. And then he comes around with that puck on edge. Thiessen once again standing up. If he goes down in the butterfly, that goes over his shoulder. It's a 6-5 hockey game. Big save, big time with 1:11 left in the second.
And you give up 4 and you're playing well. That's really what it comes down to for Brad Thiessen. Another opportunity for Mietna, and he fanned on it. And Malkin goes storming back with Neal and Martin. Near side, a centering pass by Sid as he spun around, and Malkin ends up with a puck again. Evgeny Malkin shoots it on the short side. The save made by Mason. Malkin controls it again. Turns out, looks for Martin. Paul Martin in front. Oh, redirect by Crosby. Jumped wide of the net. Crosby in on Bogosian trying to get control. Tanner Glass sends it up the board. 43 seconds to go in the second period. Here's Letang with it now for Sidney Crosby. Crosby spinning away from Bogosian. Dropped it back for Malkin and back to Sid. The two-headed monster working their magic right now. Or its magic, I guess would be a better way to put it.
Yeah, and they have Neal. Kind of a monster himself with 3 on the night.
Malkin's got it again. Whoa. And when you score 6 goals and you're popping the puck in the net, but the other team has 4, you don't, as a coach, feel the least bit reluctant about putting more offense out there on the ice and trying to keep pouring it on. You just don't know how this game's going to go. Here's Bufflin shooting. That went off a skate and wide, and a second to go in the period. And there's the horn. What an entertaining period it was. We heard that horn a lot. And the Pittsburgh Penguins lead at 6-4 through 2 periods of play. James Neal with a hat trick. Fort Pitt Capital by the numbers, second period recap. And our graphics machine's going to blow up. There's so many numbers.
Yeah. We didn't have many power plays. None in that second period, I don't believe. It was a delayed penalty. The Penguins scored on a 6-on-5. I wouldn't go anywhere.
James Neal's not going anywhere. He's going to talk to Dan Potash, Rob King with the Tribs, Josh Yohe. And highlights and analysis. Lots of highlights and more highlights and more highlights. 6-4.
Through April 2nd.
Rick Tocchet was a fearsome competitor who scored 440 career NHL goals. But he was also a self-made player who literally fought his way into the NHL. Primarily a brawler when he first entered the league, Tocchet added his goal-scoring touch as his career unfolded, although he never lost his fiery edge.
Lots of courage and gave lots of courage to his teammates. Those kind of guys who can play at that level and still bring that special courage don't come along too often.
Tocchet was acquired by the Penguins in 1992 when they were floundering to defend their first Stanley Cup championship. Tocchet played a huge part in righting the Penguins ship and helped lead them to their second cup later that year and following that up with a career-high 48 goals the next season. Retired after the 2001-2002 campaign.
Welcome back inside Consol Energy Center, where our Mercedes player interview is James Neal, who began the night with 32 goals. He now has 35. As I show you all three, have you ever scored the hat trick through the first two periods of a hockey game in your career?
No, not through the first two, but I got one my first year, so it's been a while.
And I guess as fun as it has been to watch you play, I guess it's almost equally as fun to watch Gino set you up.
Yeah, it is. It's fun to be a part of and fun to play with him. He's been great all year, and he's helped me out a lot. So, as long as he's passing it, I'm shooting. And, another big part of our line is Cooney, and he's going to the net and doing a heck of a job getting pucks for us.
It's been a track meet for two teams, but can you guys slow down at least one horse in the third period?
Yeah, we need to. I mean, it's an investment. We need to put pucks behind them. And last time we played him, it was the same way. So, we got to get a little tighter here, and we'll be all right in the third.
Congrats on the HT.
Thanks, Potash.
All right, we're going to take a very quick break. When we return, you're going to hear from Rod King and Josh Yohe. You also hear from assistant coach Todd Reardon. The Pens 6, the Jets 4, and we're not done.
Fighter.
A wild game at Consol Energy Center. The Penguins trying to shake off the effects of their loss against Philadelphia, leading Winnipeg by the score of 6-4. I'm Rob King, second intermission update, and Josh Yohe, the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review, joining us now. And Josh, at the morning skate today, head coach Dan Bosman, some of the players admitted that overtime loss that ended the long 11-game winning streak in Philadelphia was not the average loss. It was one that really stung.
Yeah, when you consider who scored the goal, Scott Hartnell, 1 second was remaining, and just the fact that they were playing the Flyers and blew a 2-0 lead, yeah, the Penguins were not happy at all, and they've responded in an interesting way tonight, Rob. They're not playing a great game, especially defensively, but they're finally healthy, and the firepower we're seeing tonight is pretty scary.
And we've heard Staggy and Bob talking about the games in the 80s, and the first thing you said when he came down, it's like, hey, 1988 down there. Mario Lemieux kind of numbers, but Malkin and Crosby each with 4 points.
Yeah.
I mean, Neal's got a hat trick, but Malkin and Crosby are really putting on a show.
Yeah, Neal has a hat trick, and he's on pace to be the number 3 star tonight. Crosby's been brilliant. His goal scoring touch isn't quite there yet, but he's got 4 assists. They were all brilliant. Listen, if he keeps playing like this, he doesn't need to score many goals. He's making everyone around him better. And oh, by the way, Evgeny Malkin is starting to run away with the scoring title.
Yeah, Gino's dad sitting down in front of us, and he's been twirling around and jumping up and down. But, I mean, Malkin now, not only the scoring title, but you would have to think he's closing in on the Hart Trophy as well.
He's the clear favorite to win the Hart Trophy. At this point, I'd be stunned if he doesn't win it. Henrik Lundqvist has had a great year, Giroux, Stamkos. But Malkin, to me, he's been in a league of his own all season. It'd be a total upset if he doesn't win the MVP.
Be an interesting article to read tomorrow, especially if this story holds up. Josh Yohe, you can read him in the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review. Josh, thanks for the time. Appreciate it. And Nissan provides you with a few reasons why you don't want to miss a shift Thursday night when the Penguins welcome the Nashville Predators to town. Pekka Rinne is at the top of the pecking order, his 39 wins tied with Marc-Andre Fleury for the most in the league. How about a new player? Alexander Rudolph is going to return from Russia. His first game might be Thursday. He was an excellent player who left Nashville back in 08 when he scored 26 goals as a 21-year-old. He is coming back after dominating the Russian league to KHL, where he was a 2-time MVP. And the special teams standoff will be an interesting battle as well. That wraps up our second intermission report. Remember to stick around after the game for Penguins postgame. Bob Airy going to join us in a special capacity as the postgame analyst. But he's still got some work to do with Staggy and Dan Potash. Third period coming up after this. Four Penguins through 2. You know the melody, the sweet Georgia Brown, Bobby. Can you whistle it? You know that melody, the Harlem Globetrotters theme? Well, you keep singing, or I'll sing, and then you can show this Malkin goal. The Penguins passing the puck around on a Range Resources telestrator.
Well, it reminds you of the power play the Penguins had in the first period. It's a 6-on-5. They have the extra attacker on. They missed that one play, but then watch this circus. This is incredible. The Penguins are going to toss this puck around. without hesitation. There's Letang up to the slot. There's an option back to the backside. Sidney Crosby's going to get that on the back pass. Then he freezes the goaltender Pavlik, who has to move over. Malkin stops that puck and goes back against the grain on Pavlik. He couldn't get himself up after that. Good Andre Pavlik. So very tough there.
And there it is. You got some time to read it all? The scoring summary of the second period. We still got another 20-minute period to go.
Well, Neil's got the hat trick in this one. Evgeny Malkin has got a goal and 3 assists. Sidney Crosby with 4 assists in the hockey game. So the Penguins feel comfortable playing the up and down style. The Jets, you know, maybe they have a chance if the Penguins could. Jets have to find a way to stop Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. How do the Penguins look with Sidney Crosby in the lineup, by the way?
Well, they're playing some kind of offensive hockey. It's not offensive zone time sustained. It's up and down action with lots of goals being scored. And it's 6-4 Pittsburgh. In case you missed it, let's take a look. Martin swings it right back to Kennedy, who dumps it deep for Matt Cook to Crosby. Right back in front. Kennedy, he scores! Crosby again, beautiful pass. Malkin cross ice, score! James Neal, another notch in his belt. To the goalie, crashes into the goaltender, and the puck swerves free. Neal with a shot, he scores! For Sid behind the net, in front Kennedy, he scores! Crosby to Malkin, tees it up, scores! Neal at center, Malkin right behind him, takes the puck, to Neal a shot, he scores! Let's go down and join Dan Potash outside the Penguins locker room.
All right, guys, thank you very much. It's time for our UPMC Sports Medicine interview with assistant coach Todd Reardon. Dare I say defense? And if you guys can find a way to slow things down in the third period to take a victory home, that's really been a really offensive game so far.
Certainly it's an end-to-end game. We've got to do a better job as a 5-man unit playing away from the puck, and that's something we're going to focus on this period and continue to play in the offensive zone here.
All right, Todd, thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.
Guys?
Well, it's funny, you know, it's almost like the Penguins are striking so easily in the offensive zone that they aren't really possessing the puck for long periods of time and killing the clock. It's kind of reminiscent of, like, you know, Air Coryell in football, you know, where you could strike quickly and not the ground attack that maybe the Steelers have. But the Penguins are a team that generally is more like only a ground game where they possess the puck for long periods of time in the offensive zone. They're striking so quickly, and they've got 6 goals already, and we still have a whole period to go, and 4 for the Jets.
Really the quickness of their puck movement, Staggy, because, you know, we showed you the hot potato plays that they've had in the offensive zone. Boy, you know, they've been in there 15, 20 seconds, but nobody's touching the puck for very long.
Nope. And every one of them, it seems like it's culminating in a goal or a great scoring chance.
Yep.
And if they don't score, then the Jets are going the other way and creating some chances of their own. Now Niskanen ahead for Stahl. Stahl has long strides, beautiful skating. He centers to Dupuis, and just at the last second, that centering pass for Dupuis was interrupted by Brian Little. And the Jets go on the attack now. Toby Enstrom up the left wing. Orpik leaves it for McCulloch. Now Hainsey to Bogosian.
Crosby doesn't get the top defenseman to play against, and he's really tormenting second pairings, isn't he? You know, with Malkin running the way he is right now, he's out there most of the time with Enstrom and Bufflin, and, well, Bogosian gets Crosby. Good luck.
Yeah, there's our Energy players, brought to you by Energy Alliance. Crosby and Malkin on fire here tonight.
Used to be the other way around. Crosby would get the top defenders with Malkin. That MVP type season, looking for the Art Ross. He's really doing a job on, you know, Enstrom and Buffalo. Tried to get out there against him, but they really haven't been a match.
Here's McCulloch with a long lead pass. Ooh, just out of the reach of Sid, and the puck goes all the way through to the net, and Chris Mason.
Great example right there with Klitzum and Stewart out there against Sidney Crosby. Almost tormented them.
Take a look at the 2008 draft and the defensemen who were taken in the first round that year, including Zach Bogosian, one of the higher ones taken. And look at all the excellent hockey players. Erik Karlsson might win the Norris this year, has 72 points right now, the lead all defenseman in the league. And Delzato, Karlsson, Schenn, Pietrangelo, some people are talking about him as a Norris Trophy candidate, the way he's playing in St. Louis. That is an incredible list of defensemen who all were taken in the same year in the first round.
Oh, that really is. And what about the way Tyler Myers, you know, I mean, he's a big horse. I'd like to have him available for the playoffs on my team.
I was going to ask you, Bob, of all those players, which one would you take? That's a tough one. There's Glass shooting, and he missed the net.
Oh, boy, he hits the net at 6-5 with a lot of time left on this clock.
He shot it back against the grain and just wide of the far post. Another centering pass. Crosby right there defending, and he broke up the pass intended for Slater. And here's Letang. Crosby holds it. Centers it. Oh, squirted right through the goal mouth. Kennedy to Martin. Shoots it. Off a stick and up into the netting behind Chris Mason.
Penguins have had a lot of offense from right around the net and behind the net. Crosby again stops up behind the net defensively. In perfect position to shut down that cross crease pass, set the Penguins in flight. He gets chopped up a little bit, but he keeps going, and look where he ends up. Right behind the net again, and he's already generated a couple of assists from that area to Tyler Kennedy. Look out! That Neal play off the face-off again.
They score! The puck found its way into the net. Malkin threw it out from below the goal line.
I got to tell you, Malkin looked embarrassed when that puck went in. He couldn't believe it. Face-off, Neal. There's a save by Mason. We've seen that time and time again. There's the shot. And that puck has eyes sometimes, doesn't it? It has eyes for players like 71, and he catches that back skate, the left skate of Mason. I don't even know if Mason knew where that puck was. He looked surprised when it hit his skate and went in behind him. Wow. Again, from behind the net, the Penguins generate offense. This has all been forward-driven. Really not at all involved are the defensemen in this game.
Here's Ladd shooting wide of the net, off the end boards. And Brad Thiessen's thinking, is this what I signed up for? I mean, but he's liking it because there's no pressure on him. I mean, even though he's allowed 4 goals, he knows his team can score almost at will tonight. They've got 7.
What is Steven Stamkos and Claude Giroux thinking right now? But Malkin is really putting up a gap here in between himself and those two contenders.
Bufflin with a heavy shot that clips the glove of Thiessen and does not go in the net. Now another chance at Thiessen with a good save. Toby Enstrom moved up on the play.
Well, there's some offense from a blue liner. First a shot by Bufflin on one side. He can bring it with 46 points. Then it was Tobias Enstrom coming in the back door. You have to have your head on a swivel. There's the initial shot that goes just off the glove, the webbing of the goaltender, and then off the top of the net. Then it comes back the other side. The Penguins missed that backdoor play. Enstrom, oh boy, dangerous.
So Malkin now has 43 goals. His career high is 47. Here's Letang shooting off a stick. Hainsey's without a helmet. And the puck gathered in now by Spencer Mahacek. And the puck shot in and cleared by Thiessen to center ice. Stepping up is Stewart. He'll dump it into the Penguin zone, and Paul Martin goes back to get it. Penguins have put up a couple of 8 spots recently, and they've won 7 in a row at home, and they have been averaging a ton of goals. During that 11-game winning streak, they were averaging 3.91 goals per game. It came to an end in Philadelphia on Sunday, but they've come back with a vengeance here against the Jets.
The Jets won a 9-8 game this year in Philadelphia.
Here's Burmistrov. That is amazing. You remembered that. That was way back in October, and they did that in Philly. Are you kidding me? A 9-8 win. So that gives you an idea. They are capable of scoring goals. This is not an aberration. Pretty good offensive team. Here's Cook with it. Now Wellwood leaves it for Burmistrov. Brooks Orpik just taps it off the boards to center. Tyler Kennedy takes off. Bufflin swings it up the near wall, and it's going to go all the way back to neutral ice where it's handled by Derek Engelland.
Burmistrov, the young centerman for the Jets, looked like a superstar, really, in a game in Winnipeg this year where he was first star and Letang hit him from behind, a 2-game suspension. Tonight, he's been almost invisible.
Steal by Dupuis. One-touch pass. Sullivan right back to Dupuis. Cross now for Stahl. Has to stop up. Dumps it in deep. Toby Enstrom there to get it. And Enstrom able to lift it out to neutral ice. Glove down. Good defensive play by Nat Niskanen on Blake Wheeler. Out the center it comes, and Byfuglien takes it the other way. Dustin Byfuglien looking around for the puck. Blake Wheeler overskates, but Bufflin's got it. Back behind the net. Ladd there for Winnipeg. Leaves it there for Wheeler. Spins away from Engelland. Centers to Byfuglien. Look at him moving around the ice. Out to Little a drive. In right on the net. And a save made by Thiessen. And he's able to corral it before Ladd could get to the loose puck.
Yeah, deflected by Wheeler on the way in. That was a tough save.
Just a reminder to look for the Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment later in the game. Miller Lite, the official beer partner of the Pens.
30 shots for the Penguins, 25 for the Jets, 7-4. Thiessen, he wants to be sharp, try to preserve that goals against and save percentage, and of course the win. The all-important win that the Penguins are looking for right now with points in 12 straight games.
Penguins have won 10 straight games at home over this Atlanta-Winnipeg franchise. 10 straight. James Neal with it. Up for Kunitz, he and Malkin. Malkin gloves it down, steps over the line, is poked back to center, and a quick counter again. Slater, who does really have great speed, dumps the puck into the corner. Malkin banks it off the boards for Chris Letang.
Look at Malkin skate. After he banked it to Letang, he was skating backwards all the way and now forward with the puck.
And he backhands it off the side of the goal. It gets to the puck again. Ron Hainsey has control of it. Back for Zach Bogosian. Up the wall now, Stapleton. Right to Hainsey. Quick passing to the Jets. Centering pass. Neal back checking nicely. Got to the puck. Quick counter for the Penguins. Malkin to Kunitz. Kunitz right back to Malkin. To Kunitz to the goal. Save made by Mason. And a good one as Kunitz shot it back against the grain, cutting in front.
Thiessen getting out to play that puck in the last couple of Jet dump-ins, really helping out this team breakout.
Eric Tangradi comes ahead, shoots it to the line. Stewart quickly turns it the other way. A hot check, works it in behind the net. Hot check centers. Ben Maxwell shoots it, but it's deflected up into the netting behind the goal. 13:04 remaining. 7-4 Pittsburgh.
Well, Brian Little is on the board for the Winnipeg Jets, but so far it has not been enough. By the way, the Winnipeg Jets entering tonight's game on the playoff bubble in 10th place in the Eastern Conference. A return to the playoffs would come 16 years after the original Jets played their final game, which happened to be a playoff loss to the Red Wings on April 28, 1996. So in a way, guys, they've certainly waited a long time. They'd like to get back there, but they got to find a way to pop that bubble.
Yeah, I was in that game. I was also at the game in Atlanta last year broadcasting with you, Dan, when the Atlanta Thrashers played their last game as a player and then as a broadcaster.
And of course, the old Winnipeg Jets are now the Phoenix Coyotes, who find themselves in a fight to get into the playoffs. Big games out west tonight, San Jose and Los Angeles. Kings poised perhaps to move into that last playoff spot on the west. San Jose would like to say something about that. Colorado hanging for dear life right now. Has played a couple of more games than those other teams.
Malkin getting a chance with the fourth line right now, getting a rest after that TV timeout.
Asham to the puck. Tangradi's in the slot. He'd like to get on the sheet. The Jets go the other way. Wellwood with it. Stutter stepping on Orpik. Penguins, good work by Tangradi to get back and help out Orpik. And here we go. Chance for Kennedy to the goal. And he fired it wide.
What an absolute pass on the backhand dish. Sidney Crosby took a peek out of the corner of his left eye, looked up. Nobody else would have made that floating pass. Maybe Joe Thornton. Take a look. Kennedy's off the races. Look at that little peek, little dish in the air, right onto the tape. Right on the blue line was the skate, and Tyler Kennedy one of two other players that are looking for a hat trick tonight. We already got Neal, Malkin, and Kennedy. With two now here, Malkin and Kennedy.
Letang looks for Kennedy cutting to the net. Centers, loose in the net. In the crease and frozen by the goaltender Mason.
That was precariously close to being over that goal line because Mason was in a real bad position. His feet were almost on the goal line when this puck was scissored closed. Not over that goal line, but that close. I tell you, bad angles. Every night we watch hockey games. Every night there's a ton of bad angle goals. Just shoot it at the goalie's feet.
Now Cook on the backhand, out to Letang. Slap pass for Kennedy, who got a piece of it to try to tip it into the net. And it went wide, and now Glass dumps it to the right wing corner. And Letang back to the puck. Miettinen hot on his trail. Yeah. Glass lined up Letang, who turned away from that check, and Sidney Crosby comes back, snaps a puck ahead, looking for Kennedy again, out of his reach. And Mason. Tyler Kennedy can't keep it in, and the Jets go to center ice. Tanner Glass to the right wing, and Miettinen swings it and drops it back. Stutter step, Slater shooting. And Tisa got a piece of that as Slater found himself wide open again.
They're using all their bodies. Miettinen played under 10 minutes coming to the third period. He was a -3 coming into this third period. And boy, does he look slow on the ice.
Letang with it now. Stahl works the corner. Out here with Dupuis and Sullivan.
You really can see the depth the Penguins have. When you see the speed they can bring through 4 lines.
Look at Wheeler go. He's a big, strong boy. He goes down that wing and has his legs pulled out from under him. No penalty. It looks like Niskanen tripped him.
I think he just tried to stop and start and lost his footing.
Okay, here's Sullivan dropping it off to Stahl. Back for Sullivan. And behind the net for Dupuis. He left it there for Stahl. Now Little over to the puck. Ryan Little works it out to center where Niskanen hauls it in. Here's Dupuis with it. For Stahl. Stahl to pass to Dupuis. Look for Sullivan cutting the net. Little broke that up. Now Ladd just dumps it rink wide. Sullivan able to get there first. Works it to the corner for Dupuis. Pass to Dupuis. Has the puck again. To Sullivan, a shot. He tried to sneak one in on the short side and hit the side of the net. Blitzen kicks it free. A hot check. Dumps it to the Penguin zone. Derek Engelland back to the puck. Engelland on his horse. Snaps it ahead. He was trying to home run pass for Neal. And now Malkin follows on. Here he comes. Malkin shoots it. He gets the net short side.
He made a little move to the inside with his head and shoulders. The defenseman almost broke an ankle.
Malkin to Letang. Now to Paul Martin. Martin wrists one behind Malkin over to Neal. Neal back around for Malkin. 2 Jets on him. Stapleton leaned on Malkin there to prevent him from getting to the puck. A hot check to center. Bogosian, who drives into the Penguins zone. The Jets are changing. Letang's got the puck past the halfway mark of the third period. The Penguins leading 7-4. Neal shoots it long, and Mason sticking it away and up into the netting, and we'll take a break. There's the man with a hat trick, and it's a 7-4 lead. Time for the UPMC Sports Medicine injury update. Joe Vitale out with an upper body injury. But let me tell you, that is nice to just look up and see only 2 faces on there. You don't want anybody to be injured, but it's usually about 5 guys that we are showing on the screen. It's so nice to see the Penguins healthier. And Bob down there next to that Penguin bench that's got a lot of energy tonight, right?
Yeah, and they're using everybody. Penguins have their 4th line on the ice right now. Portage, La Prairie's, Aaron Asham. Big party there, you know that. In Manitoba, all watching Ash. In a 7-4, he said, well, they love hockey in Winnipeg, but we want to spoil their party. So far, they're spoiling their party. The Jets 4 points out of a playoff position, and the Penguins, with a win tonight, will only be 1 point behind the Philadelphia Flyers.
Icing here against the Winnipeg Jets.
Or sorry, the Rangers, I should say. The Flyers are on their heels.
Don't forget the Buccos are in spring training, and we have them for you on Root Sports tomorrow at 12:30 against the Red Sox. And I wonder if it's warmer down there than it is here. The weather has just been spectacular for For baseball, for golf, for working in the yard. Bobby was out working in the yard this morning before he even came to the rink.
Yeah, I was going to get some exercise. And there's Thiessen again. Getting out, stops that puck, and gets it over to Martin.
And now Letang leading the charge to Asham. Nice drop pass to Adams, stick broken. And Adams is not a defenseman, and he's just racing back without a stick. And Ben Maxwell can't take the pass, and Adams with his hands defends and prevents him from getting the puck.
Well, what was Maxwell doing? He took it right to the stick of Paul Martin. Paul Martin gave him the old Cobra. He kept the stick in, and then he darted that stick out. And that was a good play by Martin, the veteran.
Wow. 7:52 to go in regulation time. The Penguins leading 7-4. Maxwell floats one to the Penguin zone, and McCulloch back to get it. Look out. He's hit on the forecheck by Mahachek, but the Penguins go the other way. And now Sidney Crosby trying to get to it, but it's cleared away by Bogosian off the boards. And Mahachek will dump it into the Penguins' end, and back to get it goes Brooks Orpik.
Mahachek with a pair of assists for the Jets in this one tonight.
Untouched pass, Kennedy to Crosby, right back to Tyler Kennedy. He shoots it up high, and Mason just has to hang on to the puck, and there'll be a face-off in the Winnipeg zone.
Well, let's take one look at the Eastern Conference standings. You see Pittsburgh there with 94, looking to get to 96, one behind the Rangers. If it ended like it is right now, it would be Pittsburgh, Philadelphia in the first round.
And as for the Winnipeg Jets, their next opponent is the Washington Capitals, the team they're chasing, and pretty much a must-win situation for them. They would have said that probably about tonight's game as well. But obviously, when you're going head-to-head with the team you're chasing, you have to win the game. So tomorrow, the next game for the Jets in a couple of days is going to be very, very large. They're on a 3-game road trip. And they play the team the Penguins play next in the 3rd game of their trip, the Nashville Predators. Not easy, and they're on the road again for 4 more. Carolina, Tampa, Florida, and the Islanders before it's all over. And this is a team that really has made most of their hay in Manitoba. On home ice. Dupuis to Stahl. And the Buffalo Sabres might have something to say about who finishes in that 8th spot. They're right there knocking on the door as well. Penguins will be playing them in Buffalo next week. Here's Stahl into the Winnipeg zone to Dupuis, and he scores! Pascal Dupuis with a rocket. And that's a career high for Pascal Dupuis.
Can't stop that. You cannot stop that shot by Pascal Dupuis. Another rising shot. Look at the gap. The Penguins turn that puck over at their own blue line. Great job by the D. There's Dupuis opening up. Gets that pass from Stahl. Enstrom can't get that long stick on that. And that puck rises over the glove hand of Mason. Maybe just kicks the glove. That rising hard shot by Dupuis. Give him 21 on the season. Wow, you talk about depth.
And here goes Malkin, 1-on-3. Drops it off to Neal. Neal fires, and a save by Mason.
Using that long curve, Neal was able to curl and drag that puck around. Klitzum, I believe, after Malkin was slicing and dicing that puck. Watch, slicing, dicing. Gives it back to Neal, the curl and the drag. Head up. And he can't get that puck high enough over Stewart and the netminder Mason. They're having fun right now, aren't they?
Up high comes Kunitz. Malkin centers, but right to the Jets, and here goes Evander Kane with Wellwood and Klitzum. Klitzum takes the drop pass, shoots it, blocked in front, and picked up by Letang. Ahead now. Ooh, he had Malkin open up there at center ice, but the pass eludes him, and it's an icing call.
They're looking for that stretch pass. Stretch pass. They tried it again. Stretch pass. We saw it a couple of times in this hockey game. The Penguins were able to back people off, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. Stretch pass. Brooks Orpik from behind the net. Where's he looking? Way up behind the defense, and head in front of the defense or behind, and there they find them in the neutral zone with speed, and they're already in the offensive zone.
Hainsey's shot deflected twice and wide of the goal. Picked up by Wellwood. He centers. That hit a man in front with Thiessen still scrambling to get back into position. And Malkin digs in and takes the lead pass from Kunitz. Bouncing puck, and it's going to come all the way back to center. 5:36 to go. Penguins leading 8-4.
And the last score here, 8-5.
Right.
Wow.
McCulloch trying to get it out. Letang looks around for the puck.
Well, the Jets do have a terrible travel schedule. They really do.
Tanner Glass with it. Zach Bogosian. Glass. Bumped by Adams. Nice play by Letang to find McCulloch right in front of his own net. Now to Craig Adams. Looks for Asham cutting to the goal. Slater goes rink wide with it. The Penguins have a tough assignment in a couple of nights themselves with the Nashville Predators. And Pecorine, they won't be filling the net behind that guy, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, because he's filling the net already, isn't he? He's huge, 6'5".
He's one of the top goalies in the league. He and Fleury are tied and wins 39, and Marc-Andre Fleury will be going for his 40th win on Thursday night against the Nashville Predators. 4:18 to go. And a long drive to the net. Thiessen will hang on to it and will get a face-off. Just enjoy the show, folks. All the reactions to the goals, 8 of them. Celebration is on.
You gotta live mas. Hockey. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be. It's a game that revolves in continuous motion. Its energy fuels its players beyond exertion. It's a sport driven by desire, passion, inspiration. Hockey isn't just about speed or precision or supremacy. It's far more demanding than that. If hockey were easy, it wouldn't be great.
Time for our Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment. James Neal with his first hat trick as a Penguin. His second career hat trick. And there ought to be a license to fire that gun for James Neal. That's just scary the way he can get rid of that puck in a hurry and put it where he wants it.
And then you got Malkin firing darts. Then you got Pascal Dupuis with a rising slap shot.
Ladd shoots one down low, and the save made by Thiessen. Well, Thiessen stopped 22 of 24 shots in both of his first 2 games. He's faced 29 here and allowed 4 goals, and he's played well. Not an easy night for the goalies on either end of the rink. A game like this. Kind of like one of those baseball games where everybody's hitting the ball out of the park. Here's a shot from the right point by Engelland. And the pitchers look like they can't get anybody out. It just happens some nights.
Well, that's where if you're a pitcher, you got to throw it at the batter and not in the middle of the plate. And I think the same goes here if you're a Winnipeg Jet. How about taking a body? How about getting a glove in somebody's face? Aren't you trying to get into the Stanley Cup playoffs and win the greatest trophy in sports? You have to show some resolve. You got to muster it up, man up here. This is hockey.
Here's a shot by Letang, and it's blocked in front, and another opportunity. Dupuis with a shot. That's also blocked. It comes out to Martin. And he finds Stahl. Stahl tried to go to Dupuis, picked off by Burmistrov. I was just going to say it's kind of hard to hit what you can't catch. That puck is moving pretty quick.
Well, that's why they say finish off your checks. When the puck is gone, you finish off your body check.
Now Burmistrov to the puck on the far side.
Well, just for example, isn't that how Philadelphia got back into a hockey game on the weekend?
Yep.
Yeah, they got a little bit dirty. They got a little bit nasty. They were standing around for 2 periods of play. They changed the dynamic of the game.
This franchise has made the playoffs once when they were in Atlanta, and they were swept. In the only round they've been in. Here's Malkin flying back to center. And he tried to drop it off, and it's picked off by Slater, who got it to center ice. Letang looks around for the puck and then finds it and gives it to Derek Engelland with 2:12 to go. Here comes Kunitz. Neal out here as well. Kunitz sends it in deep. Bogosian will take it now for Winnipeg. He finds Tanner Glass, and out they come. Wheeler dumped it in. Thiessen couldn't stop it. Slater back to the net. Steered behind the net by Thiessen, where Malkin will take it, working deep in his own zone. Ahead for James Neal.
Well, let's be honest. The Jets wanted to play a pond hockey game.
They didn't want to, but they did.
They ended up playing a pond hockey game, didn't they?
Yep.
And they're not going to win that one. Not against this team.
Here's Ladd with it. Blake Wheeler, nice moves on Adams. Wheeler looked for the man cutting to the net. Bufflin, and the pass went behind him. And now Bufflin turns it over to Aaron Asham, and he turns it back to center ice where Toby Enstrom will take it for Winnipeg. Chased by Tyler Kennedy. Asham had a chance to line up for Enstrom and did not. But now Tyler Kennedy tripped to the neutral zone by Little, and there's going to be a penalty. They're going to call it.
Yeah.
Can't help it. Kennedy was off to the races there at center ice, and Little reached out and tripped him, and so the Penguins, with no mercy from the officials, get a power play here with 1:05 to go.
Yeah, you're right.
Their Subway sandwich of the game.
On Little, who's got a pair of goals here, his 20th and 21st of the season for the Jets. He showed up. Perhaps their best player has been Brian Little. And there's the penalty in the neutral zone. Trip.
And another opportunity on the power play, and to the net it goes right off the draw.
Well, Malkin's out here still in an 8-4 game.
Well, he's trying to win a scoring title.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. I'm just saying he's out here in an 8-4 game.
I know. And I'm thinking about it. I was wondering what kind of usage there would be of these players at this point when you're up by 4. But
Tangradi, you'd like to see him pop one or get rid of that goose egg if you could. And Kennedy's looking for the hat trick. Now they're going to take. They're calling Tangradi off the ice. Asham goes on.
Niskanen over the line, trying to control it. Now Malkin takes it. Gino dancing on his skates. Leaves it for Kennedy. Tyler Kennedy back to Malkin. Now to Kennedy, a shot. And broken stick on the play as it was blocked, and out of play it goes. And with 33.7 seconds remaining in the game, there'll be a face-off here in the Winnipeg zone. The Penguins on a UPMC Sports Medicine power play.
I think it's a good idea to have Aaron Asham out there. I think, as protection too. If you got Malkin out there in this situation, Asham's out there. I know he's from the province of Manitoba, but still, I mean, it's a pretty good insurance policy in my opinion.
Face off to the left of Mason, and Malkin reaches in. Slater won the draw, but it comes right to the boards and Malkin to Letang. Right back to Gino. He tried to go cross ice to Kennedy. Aaron Asham. From Malkin. Letang, slap pass to Asham. Shot wide by Kennedy, I should say, with Asham standing in front of the net. Malkin tried to feed it into the slot to Kennedy again, who's looking for his first career hat trick, but time will tick away, and the Penguins got all the goals they need. 8 tonight against the Jets. And Brad Thiessen is 3-0 in the National Hockey League. And Natalia Malkin is smiling as her son has had another phenomenal night. Another 5-point game against the Winnipeg Jets. That's 2 this year against them. And he's our McDonald's player of the game. Also his 200th career goal.
Yep, 200, and on his way to his next 200 goals with his 201st. A great effort for the Penguins. They put up 8. That doesn't happen too often, although we saw the Boston Bruins do it last night against the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Penguins now 1 point back of the New York Rangers, right in the rearview mirror.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are ranked 3rd in the NHL. The Nashville Predators are ranked 6th. That's a good opponent the Penguins will play on Thursday here on Root Sports at 6:30. Starkist Penguins postgame coming up.